Yo, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Sorry but not sorry. Boxing Talk Roundtable Show, episode 4, man. We here with it, man. We here with it. Man, it's been a crazy day in boxing today, man. Oh, man. I'm glad we here to talk about it, though, man. Jag Queen Boxing says, salute to you, salute to you. T Hill, my dog. Salute, brother, salute. Salute. I know my brother Marcus from Ohio runs boxing. He's supposed to join us as well tonight. You know what I mean? We're gonna go over some of these topics. We're gonna go over this crazy shit with Keyshawn Davis, man. Missing weight. The fight with him and Edwin De Los Santos is officially off. Nasty work. Nasty work, man. And Abdullah Mason gets elevated to main event. So Abdullah Mason and Jeremiah Nakathila will be the main event for the top ranked card tomorrow in Norfolk, Virginia tomorrow. And Keyshawn Davis won't be fighting at all, man. Missing weight earlier, 139.4. Missing weight like that. I had a feeling, I ain't gonna lie, I had a feeling that Samson Likowitz, because I read the tweet that Samson Likowitz had with Dan Raphael, and him saying that they don't know if they're gonna take this fight, and just looking at that tweet in particular, it made me had to feel that Edwin De Los Santos wasn't gonna take this fight, and it's on Keyshawn. It's on Keyshawn being unprofessional, not making this weight, not even attempting to try to make the weight. For real, to be honest. I mean, definitely unprofessional on Keyshawn Davis' behalf, man, and definitely sad to see, especially on his first title defense. Like, this is supposed to be his first title defense, and Keyshawn Davis, doesn't make the weight for the fight, and the fight is off now. I mean, both of them guys missed out on the payday. Keyshawn Davis reportedly, I heard he's supposed to be making a little bit over $1 million for this fight, and Edwin De Los Santos was supposed to make a little bit over 600,000 for this fight. So, nasty work, man. Definitely sad to see for sure, man. But Abdullah, you know, the show moves on, man. Abdullah Mason gets elevated to main event, man. So that's definitely, you know, interesting to see for sure. T Hill said belt holder extraordinaire. Hey man. It is just so crazy. Like, just looking back like at all the interviews Keyshawn had the previous 2 weeks leading up to the fight, and then fight week, the press conference yesterday, all of this shit. Like, it just makes me think back. I'm like, damn, man. For real, like, this man Keyshawn, he knew the whole time he wasn't gonna make this weight, man. You just gotta read the room and listen to some of these interviews, dog. Like, listen to some of these interviews, man. Just reading between the lines, man. Like, this man Keyshawn, talking about Raymond Muratalla yesterday, saying that, he ain't want to fight him for his belt and unify up and everything. And then, him keep continuing to talk about fighting Teofimo Lopez. Like, there's all of these little factors, of his his talks in these interviews in recent time, and to where, like, we're leading up to the day Keyshawn doesn't make the weight, and talk about he's moving up to 140 and he's outgrew the 135-pound division, which is crazy, man. And Keyshawn, the same guy that was pressing Abdullah Mason yesterday about a fight next. Nigga, you ain't even got the title to defend next. What are we talking about? Like, like, you didn't you couldn't make weight on your first title defense and got stripped, dog. Like, this is just nasty work, man. At all phases, bro. Nasty work, man. Real live nasty work. Like it's unbelievable. Like I'm real shocked right now about this. So man, we can go ahead and get started, man. Um, so of course, like the first topic I got tonight, man. Of course, you heard the news the other day with Lomachenko. Lomachenko retires from the sport of boxing, man. Um, at the age of 37. Crazy, man, because we talked about it on on content recently on CamJNetwork YouTube channel. And by the way, if you coming in, make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Support your boy, support the grind, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? The Cash App is in the description as well if y'all want to support in that way. You know what I'm saying? If your heart desires. But we gonna continue to cook up though for sure. Ray B will salute my brother, man. Salute, bro. Salute. Yeah, man. So yeah, big L for Keyshawn. Big L, dog. Like big L. So of course, Lomachenko, he retired yesterday, man. And they elevated Raymond Muratalla to the IBF champion, which is interesting right there for that. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a move that I said recently. I said, yo, Lomachenko, if you ain't gonna fight, man, retire and move out the way and let Raymond Muratalla let him be the champion and defend that title, man. Let the youngins shine. And Lomachenko definitely is doing that by him retiring. Lomachenko had an amazing career. No, definitely a champion at 130, 135. Last fight he had against George Kambosos Jr. last year, where he stopped him in the 11th round, pitched the shutout, and he looked awesome in that fight. You know what I mean? And I'm just honored to be able to watch Lomachenko and watch him over out throughout his career. And be able to cover his last fight that he had, you know what I mean? And salute to Lomachenko. Enjoy your retirement, you know what I mean? Enjoy it and you know, enjoy that money you got too, man. I know he probably ain't spent too much of that money, hopefully. You know what I mean? And Raymond Muratalla, man, now you the champion now, man. What's next for Raymond Muratalla now? That's the good question now. Like, oh, excuse me, y'all. Long day tonight. Yeah, man. It's definitely interesting to see what Raymond Muratalla defend that title up there with the IBF and keep it pushing, man. And we can go to the next topic, man, for sure. So, uh, of course, man, Teofimo Lopez. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. Let me do this, y'all. Cause I'm gonna drop it. We gonna drop and we gonna type in. We just gonna build and cook up. All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave the link in the chat. If anybody want to tap in and hop on, we just gonna cook up and let it be free tonight. It's the round table, man. So y'all want to come on and cook up, man? Come on and cook up, man. We just go over these topics that I got tonight. All right, man. So yeah, Raymond Muratalla, man, he's champion, and interested to see. I gotta look through this IBF. I want to see this IBF rankings to see what's popping with them. T Hill, my brother. T Hill, my brother, was good.
Hey man, it's Good Friday. I'm on top of the ground. Full capacity of my lungs, man. I ain't mad
Man,
at when people make mistakes or have shortcomings. I am a little
pause.
but disturbed by people faking the funk unless they gonna take the clutch shot. I was talking about that last night, man. Pump faking without taking that damn clutch shot. If you pump faking, I don't care how many pump fakes you get up, you better try to get the shot off or get a shot off of somebody else. Shout out to the
Facts,
brother pump
brother.
faking to get a shout out for my man Abdullah Mason. Gonna be getting his first main event, and on top of that, that boy about to be elevated to champion.
Man, for real. For real.
What's good, y'all?
What's good? What's good, brother? More
What I
more
know.
Salute,
Jazz Queen boxing.
salute everybody.
Salute indeed. Salute indeed.
Yeah, man. So y'all already heard the news, man. Keyshawn, Edwin fight is off. It's off. Abdullah Mason elevated the main event. It's crazy, man. This is nasty work. How y'all feeling about this
Hold
right
on.
here?
Is the whole fight canceled or their fight is just off?
No,
No,
they're
their fight
just
is
their
off.
fight.
Abdullah gonna be taking the main event slot.
Okay,
L
cool.
Dub was good, brother.
L
Cool,
Dub
cool.
in the building. We definitely got to get L Dub up. I know he don't like coming up to the panels, but it would be a pleasure to have him up there.
Absolutely, man. It said top rank paid Edwin his full purse 600K. Facts, facts. And that's why I was saying too. I was like, Keyshawn was reportedly to make over 1 million for this fight, and Edwin's supposed to make a little bit over 600K. And right there, Air Dub reported right there, Edwin will get his full purse 600K for the whole fight being off from Keyshawn.
Yeah, respect to Top Rank for that though. I got to give them their props on that. They did right by Edwin.
Facts. Salute,
Pride
Prize
was
Fighter TV.
good.
Salute, bro. Yeah, man. So how y'all feeling about this right here?
Honestly, man, I mean, I'm gonna say this. Like I said, the most disturbing part about me is the shenanigans and the talk. Now, I remember there was one time where he came upon one person and he didn't have that type of energy, and that was Frank Martin. It was a different type of energy, but ever since like that moment, he's been like projecting a different type of energy, man. And I think everything came to a head today. I don't know why he wasn't able to make it. He was looking big for all his previous fights, and that last fight that he took, the weight cut looked kind of harsh on him. So I didn't know how he was going to look. And then when he showed up today, because we did this on the Casuals Corner, man, we was doing it, looking at it live, and I was like, "Yo, he looked right."
Right.
And Jab Queen, she was there. She's like, "Yo, he looked big," and I was like, "Yeah, he do look big," but I mean, his face don't tell no signs of a weight cut. And then when he got weighed, bro, I could understand why. He in perfect contention for the next division up. He can make day weight right now.
Facts.
So, with that being the case, man, I'll say this, man, because I've always thought this. T.O. been out there doing all kind of crazy foul stuff, right? Looking for a way out. He's looking for a way out because he's held prisoner to the contract that he is with Top Rank. Bob Arum not gonna give him no leeway at all. Mickey Fricky, you ain't gonna get nothing popping, and that belt ain't going nowhere but here. And
Right.
I think that what we did was find a pathway in which Bob is going to get that belt from Otta T.O. T.O. proposed a fight with Boots. Now I understand why he would rather take a fight with Boots. Because if I lose to Boots, ain't nobody going to judge me harshly for that. But how about if they make me take a fight with Keyshawn and that nigga put the beats on me? It wouldn't look good that I lost to somebody who's coming up. So I
Right.
don't know if this is like all this shenanigans that's been taking place with these top rank folks has been because Bob been all along trying to plot to get this belt off of T.O. And this is how we gonna do it. And by the way, we can put the belt in good hands over here with Abdullah Mason. And now we got the other belt from Loma in good hands with Mortaya, and we're gonna continue to do what we do. We're gonna top rank it up. And once again, in the process, certain fighters will not get the same kind of leeway or pardon that other fighters will. My man did this, and a lot of people are right now saying they feel sorry for him because he blew an opportunity. Other people would be getting vilified, torn apart, crucified, nailed to the cross. But shout out to boxing, dog.
Yeah, man. It's
What you
def.
think, Mark?
Oh man. I'm more relieved now. of seeing, because I was big on the rankings, man. I look at these rankings and these maneuvering, and it don't make sense to me. But I think Top Rank was in control. I actually personally believe Top Rank knew they had a feeling it's always Plan B. This is experienced promotional company. They was putting stuff just in case something like this will probably happen. That is why Abdullah is number two, and he's not number one. And he will fight for a vacant title against the number one mandatory, which that's what I was screaming for. It's like, give me a top 10 contender or a former world champion, so he's going to get that all in one. He's going to get a contender that's undefeated, 17 and over 15 KOs, and he's going to be in his, probably, I'm putting that out there. I think it's going to be in Cleveland. This is the smart thing to do, is put him in Cleveland and let him debut, there. And, not debut, but have his first, headline home a town fight. And it would be huge. But that's what was crazy to me, because I'm like, they probably knew Keyshawn was getting bigger. They probably knew it was going to be tough for him to make the weight, because I got the phone call, and, I called you. As soon as I got the phone call, I let you know off
Facts,
rip. I
facts,
let
bro.
you
That's
know
why
off.
I was like, man, this is nasty work.
Mm-hmm. But this is deeper, because a lot of people didn't know the information, where they think Keyshawn just came in over came in to 4 pounds over. No, he was only 2 pounds over in the morning. He
Right.
gained 2 more pounds.
Mm,
Instead of saying, okay, let's lose let's lose this here, he came on the scale 2 more and a half. He almost went into another division. And from people who've never boxed, looking from their perspective, that's like saying fuck you. Because it's like, okay, 1.5 pound, two, man, we negotiate. It's cool, man. I know how it is. I'm a fighter too, blah, 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 blah. Now you coming in almost 5? You really disrespecting me. Now it
facts.
ain't even no it's beyond unprofessional. It's like you really don't care, bro. So
Absolutely.
when you see a guy that do that, I think the negotiation they was happening, they was negotiating the weight. I think De Los Santos being off 2 years, he was put in a situation where, do you still want to take the fight? Look how long you've been off. See, this is the tactic they use a lot, and I try to tell people, when I see this all the time on a small promotional company, on small fight cards and stuff, where the guy comes in, he knows you've been inactive, he knows you want to fight. So guess what? Hey man, I came in 6 pounds over. You still want to fight? Take the little cut, whatever. Yeah, I still want to fight. You know what I mean? So
Right.
they put you in that situation. And this is why I was telling people I backed Jake Paul when I seen Rockman tried to pull that on him, and everybody was, oh, Jake scared. No, Jake can cancel a card the day before the event, and no one would criticize him for it. He'll go and make a whole nother event and move on. Certain race fighters, certain demographics, they can't get away with that. Their
Right.
backs is against the wall. You get what I'm saying? So I think you got to take a stand on that sometimes, and I don't think De Los Santos and this team was wrong. If I would have took, if De Los Santos still would have took that fight, bro, I'm taking so much money from Keyshawn and the fees that Terrence Crawford gonna have to loan him some money for his next fight. That's how much money we gonna take out of that if we gonna fight you, because you disrespected us. So
Facts.
I think the fight got thrown in the trash when they was asking for a lot of money, and I would have asked for a lot of money. I guarantee y'all that's what it was about, because De La Santo's still a fighter. He wants to get in there and be like, boom, man, that's giving me confidence. He said it. This dude coming in
Right.
for is disrespectful, but it goes to show you I'm a puncher. He ain't never faced a real puncher. So that's giving me confidence that he's not even confident enough to come in and under the weight. It's almost similar to Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. I'm gonna purposely come in a couple pounds over and overweight, because I don't even want to fight for the belt. I want the advantage to win the fight. So when you
Facts.
see that type of mindset, that's when you say, okay, nah, So you got to have a team to protect you, and I think De Los Santos' team, I'm gonna definitely say this. I think this team protected him from his own self, because De Los Santos still wanted that fight. I don't care what nobody say. He still wanted to go in there and fight. But you got to be like,
Absolutely.
nah, bro.
Especially ain't fought in 2 years and ain't got a paycheck, you know what I'm saying,
And
for
and that, and
fighting.
that's what I think Keyshawn was banking on. Keyshawn was
Yeah.
thinking on that he going up anyway. And this is another thing I want to touch on. I personally think Keyshawn knew he was going up in weight. That's why you get these I call them fake call outs. He knows Abdullah wasn't gonna fight him next. Let's just create a buzz. I'm going up. I called this is almost the same move Devin Haney did with Shakur. I told people Devin
Mm.
Haney is not fighting Shakur. He sent that fake offer and everybody bit and ate it. Talking about, oh, it's 25%. No, his next fight is at 140. He's not staying down there for Shakur when he just coming off a Lomachenko win. And Shakur was coming off of what? The fight to me wasn't a great build-up yet. Let Shakur get Loma or somebody else and then go into that fight if that's what they wanted to do. But
Facts.
Devin was already going up to 140. That was just a smokescreen offer that I was telling people. And I'm gonna say this too. Shakur did the same exact thing. And that whole Devin and Shakur, he knew Devin was going up. So he's trying to act like he want the fight. Nah, bro.
Facts.
You know you about to go up in weight, so now you putting pressure. You seeing them at parties. You got to sign up because a lot of the people who don't know about the politics of boxing, they gonna eat it up. I don't. I'm paying attention to every detail, and I'm putting that all together. I don't eat up everything these guys do because it's a strategy to everything. So that's just my take on it, man. I think he was strategizing with the Abdullah calling him out when he knew he was going to be moving up, and Abdullah was fighting for the WBO vacant. That was going to be vacant even after this fight. I personally believe that because there's no way anybody can explain to me how Abdullah get the number two.
Hey,
No one can
and on
explain
top
it.
of that,
No one can
on top
explain
of
how
that,
he gets the number two. So that's just my thing. And yes, it works in our favor because I'm an Ohioan. I love it, but I also call out everything. So I'm just like, give my boy Abdullah a tough fight. Give him a contender or something before we talk about this Keyshawn piece. All I was asking.
Hey, what y'all
but
think
on,
about Eldub's post right there saying maybe we can get Haney versus Keyshawn next in Saudi Arabia August 16th?
That ain't bad. I think he's looking for the big fights now. So I think he's now feel like he's in that stage where he can get big fights. I mean, shoot, I like Gary Russell in him. Shoot, what are we talking about? I mean,
Absolutely.
we
Yeah,
got
they need
Gary
to
right
change
there.
that date though.
I like Gary. It's a lot of fights that he can make now, but I think this is definitely gonna leave a sting because it takes a little bit of your confidence away. It's like people don't believe you, and I actually had told people Keyshawn was talking so confidently that he had people believing he can beat anybody. Just the way he talked, it was like, oh snap! I loved it, but at the same time, you have to back it up. I think Abdullah has all the attributes to beat a Keyshawn. I just want to make sure he has the mental attribute, that mental game going into a fight with a guy like that. He just got a little bit more experience, but not that much.
Yeah,
One or two fights, just a little
I
bit.
was gonna say I don't completely disagree, but I think the experience factor would definitely have made a difference in the ring. If he didn't get him within the next couple of fights, there would have been no way he could beat Abdullah anyway. Um, but as far as him missing weight and all that, I mean, I don't know what the hell these boxers got going on these days. I think they're just more interested in the glory of being a boxer than actually being a boxer. They spend most of their time on social media like everybody else. I mean, I don't know if he even attempted to make the weight, you know what I mean? Because 4.3 pounds over, when did you know that? When you haven't been weighing yourself throughout this whole process? Like, it's just craziness to me. And shout out to Edwin De Los Santos for standing on business and being professional, not being thirsty. Like you said, he was probably banking on the fact that he needed the money. And he was like, nah, I don't need it that bad. You know what I'm saying? To the fact that I'm going to give you a 4.3 pound advantage. So shout out to him.
Yeah, facts,
Yeah.
man, facts. L Dub says Nakathila is number 11 and he got the rankings so Mason can be possible mandatory.
No, the rankings is pretty much he already in a good position because if you at number two, they have the number one and the number two fight for the vacant. Just like Brian Norman beat the number two guy and he got elevated. So if Abdullah beats the number one contender in that spot, guess what? If whoever vacates the belt, at that time, he gets elevated. That's how that works. So Abdullah is in
Facts.
a position where he's going to fight a guy that's pretty much in the same type of level of opposition that he has fought moving up, where they're both like he's 17-0 with 15 KOs, and then you got Abdullah 18-0, 16. That's a perfect matchup to fight at
Yeah.
home.
Hmm.
So that's
Right.
that's what it's setting up. I mean, even if let's say Keyshawn stayed, he would have to knock off the guy that's that number one. He would have to knock him off, and then Abdullah moves in that position. But they already knew. I'm telling y'all, Top Rank already knew Keyshawn was struggling with this weight, talking about this weight. That's
Yeah, I
all.
mean it
Because
shows because
my whole thing was, how the heck Berlicek gets pushed in the back when he lost to Keyshawn, but he beat Neverate? How did you supposed to reward fighters for taking tough fights? He shouldn't get tossed all the way to number six. So no, I see how they're moving. So I can actually predict how they're moving because what's going to happen is Abdullah is going to fight for the world title. Let's say he wins. So this is how they're going to set it up. They're still building Abdullah. So guess what? Don't be surprised if Berlicek somehow get to number two again. And guess who's going to be in a mandatory spot for Abdullah? Berlicek.
Mm-hmm.
So
who's
they're going to
Berlish?
still be able to control him as they building him, but the WBO is helping Top Rank. They're gonna be moving the rankings, and it's gonna be he gonna have a voluntary fight who he fight. Here comes his mandatory. Berlicek. Fight who he gonna fight, voluntary. Here comes another. They gonna still be in control with the WBO. As long as he don't take no unifications, they're gonna build him up. I think he'll be ready for damn near everybody, because that's my argument. Don't put a fighter in a position to win the world title and then say he's not ready.
Well, you see right there in the WBO, they got Sam Noakes.
Yeah.
Sam Noakes number one, so that'll be the fight that look like they'll probably try to make next, possibly
No,
for him.
that's what I said, because he's perfect. He's a top 10. That's what I wanted. I wanted him to fight a guy like that before he fights a Keyshawn. This guy is undefeated, 15 KOs, 17. That is perfect. So I think Top Rank already had that in plan. So I was ranting, but they was already in control. Like, no, we're not putting him in there with Keyshawn X. We know exactly what we're doing.
Facts, facts. What you think, Jack Queen?
Yeah, that's very interesting. You mean Barinchek, the
Yeah,
same one that
Barrente.
Keyshawn? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, because it was throwing me off a little bit. Yeah, 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 no, definitely. I mean,
Can't hear her. I
this
don't know
whole
if
thing.
she's talking or not. I can't hear her.
Can you hear me, Cam?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I can
yeah.
hear everybody.
This
We
I can
whole
hear
definitely
y'all.
hear you.
this whole thing is a little ridiculous. I mean, I'm not really sure what Keyshawn's plans are moving up to 140, but I mean, it's some smoke up there if he really wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like you said. Now that's what I wanted to. I was actually going in order, but I guess you all out of order because I was going to go over Loma and his retirement and how Maritala got elevated. Um, I guess this is what they mean by email champions, right? But I mean, it's not really his fault if Loma is retiring. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he decided to completely into the witness protection program, which is cool. Um, he looks like he's having a good time, and just taking a look at the lay of the land. I mean, he probably don't want to fight these young guys no more. He had what 396 amateur fights, so he
Yeah.
probably just wanted to go ahead and go. So he dropped the belt. They elevated Maritala. So now, who does Maritala have to fight? Does he since Keyshawn is moving to 140? So it's just who? Him, Shakur, Tank, and that's it now, right? And Abdullah, or if whatever happens with that belt.
Yeah, I mean, IBF rankings, you got, Andy Cruz is number three. Uh, you got Mag
Now,
Sayo, number four. Sam Noakes is number six. Lucas Body is number seven. Kid Austin is number eight. You know, I ugh.
Kid Austin has a fight coming up with Tevin Farmer, so I'm not really worried about him. I'm just talking about as far as like that little circle there. So okay, well, I mean, Abdullah should fight Maratala next. I mean, that's what I was thinking since the belt is, well, they elevated him fully, so they would have to elevate Abdullah. Or wouldn't Abdullah have to fight for that belt since it's vacant now?
Yeah, he would. That's what be the setup because if what's his name is number one, I forgot his name. This number one, the white guy. I want to say his name. I don't want to mess it up, but he's number
About
one.
sell
Abdullah,
notes.
yeah, he's number one, and Abdullah's number two. What they would have is have him fight because if he would have stayed, if Keyshawn would have stayed champion, the white boy would have been the mandatory. He would have been the mandatory position for that fight. And if Keyshawn trying to get a big fight, you know how that is. You know, step aside money and all
Yeah.
that other BS. But I think they said now they got it set where it's a vacant belt now. So it's like, look who's at number two. You know, so it's like, huh. So it's the perfect setup to still build a kid while he's trying to put him in a position where he's got the belt. But again, we cannot sit there and baby Abdullah once he becomes a champion.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
This
Right.
goes this goes across the line for every fighter. Don't put him in the position to win the belt and then say, well, a Loma fight is too much for him nah. Don't put him in this position because we see
Well,
it.
I think
What?
his skills put him in this position.
No. I think he's definitely great and he's good, but you don't jump from 9 to 2 over guys who fought better competition. See, that's what I'm calling. You reward fighters who take better
Mm,
fights. That's what I'm saying. I have no problem with Abdullah in the top 10 because his consistency of winning all his fights, and they're starting to toughen him up a little bit. But I could never move Abdullah to number 2 over Berlicek. I mean, you even got an Albert Bell who's 27-0 with 10 KO. So it's like, how is these rankings working? And I think if we call those out, we'll start to see it's just politics. The best doesn't always get moved up. The most deserving who win fights sometimes get avoided and don't even get pushed. I mean,
yeah,
Blair
I've said
Cobb,
that before too.
yeah, Blair Cobb got taken off as soon as Golden Boy let him go. His ranking was gone. All the sanctioning bodies, you ain't with Golden Boy no more. Oh, your ranking gone too. What a coincidence. That's just not right. So that's my thing. I think Abdullah is definitely talented. He definitely can fight for a world title, but a lot of people are going to see. You get to see how the politics moves when you see certain fighters skip. They go from 11 to 4, and see
Yeah,
you
I've been
already.
noticing that too.
You will start noticing who about to get title shots. You will start to see uh guys when the other race white guys that's the champions, all of a sudden they get to maneuver. They don't have to fight their mandatory. It's a lot of that going on. So I wish they just stick to the rules and everybody just get a fair shake. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's why I made the comment these cherries don't want to be picked no more, because it's like, listen, I'm in the gym working just as hard. So, when we thinking these guys are tomato cans or cherries, nah, they just looking for their shot to shine.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm gonna say this: I think Abdullah can be one of the fighters who he's just disciplined. He's a great kid. Everybody loves Abdullah outside the ring too. But I think he's going to be that gym rat where he can have a long title defense because he's so dedicated to the sport. He ain't into the flashy jewelry. He ain't into the clubs. He's just with his family. He's stuck with his faith. It's going to be hard to knock a boy out that's dedicated to boxing. That's not
Yeah.
flashy. Don't care about the big diamond rings and nah. It's gonna be hard to knock off somebody like that.
Hey, what y'all think of right here? Top rank, my guy Tony from a sports podcast, Cincinnati. Man, salute to you, brother. Everybody go subscribe to their channel for sure. That's my family over there too as well. And he said Top Rank owns some of them belts. Basically, they own three of them belts. The WBC is held by Shakur, but Shakur over there with Matchroom. And Top Rank, they trying to find a way to try to get that belt from Shakur too. So they trying to get that belt back on that side for sure. So, Top Rank owned three of them belts at 135. You remember
Yeah,
Top Rank had a whole tournament at 135 and everything.
Yeah.
hmm I think you could tell who got great relationships with some of these sanctioning bodies, which is it's good too. If I'm a promoter, I definitely want to have a good relationship with the sanctioning bodies if I got fighters. That's the business model. I get that. You know what I mean? But we also got to see a fair shake too. Blair Cobb, I say this all the time. Blair Cobb should be in the mix. He beat Broner, and all of a sudden he disappears. Like what? Y'all like we didn't see that?
No fight at all.
Like really? Like we didn't see that? Okay, but Broner was ranked number 8 on the WBA because y'all was pushing him. But since he lost, there is no bag in it, and that's where we're getting away from. It's like they're going for the bag. Cool, certain fights can be bags. I get that, but come on, man, we're not getting the best fighting the best. We're not getting guys who coming off wins that was upset. I mean, I still hear people say Caleb Plant and Charlo was a good fight, which it is. It still is, but we can't reward the guy who beat Plant. You know, it wasn't even close. Like he beat Plant. Like damn.
Exactly. And I made a video about how they almost tried to rob him. You saw David Sutherland gave him a split decision. I'm like, yo, this guy is crazy.
Yeah,
Facts.
and that's what I'm like. I get it. He ain't supposed to win, but this is one of the reasons why I give credit to guys like Abdullah who have won 18 fights. They keep saying you ain't fight nobody, but it's not easy to go in there and stay winning consistent fights. You're gonna have somebody that come try to take your head off every time you in there fighting. So I do give them a little credit based on consistency. How many prospects have we
Absolutely.
seen get knocked out? My goodness, I don't know how much.
Yeah.
Like we see it all the time. It's not easy.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's a really good point. But I always think about stuff like, why does it happen, right? And I was thinking like maybe it's because they put a certain amount of money into a certain group of fighters, or just this one is more marketable. Because if we just let things like really be how they be, we would probably see a whole different lay of the land. You know what I'm saying? Just a whole bunch of guys that could bang like Abdullah Mason that kind of just fly under the radar, who aren't as uplifted. That's why I said they got to be careful, because these cherries don't want to be picked no more. You picking some guy that you think is a bum for your guy to kind of just use as a tune up, and he go in there and get his ass whooped, i.e. last weekend.
That is so. You telling the truth.
Yo, Cam, I'm gonna say this,
Yeah.
bro.
Go ahead, brother.
You said something very poignant, man. Bob don't want them belts to go nowhere. And one
Right.
belt happened to walk up out of top rank, and that was Shakur Stevenson. He also know the relationship that Shakur and Keyshawn have. That's instability. So you got to make sure he verified with him. I mean, it's almost damn near a similar route with him not making the biggest shot title defense that he got, or whatever the case may be, when your boy did the same damn thing to Robson and say Sal. But I'll say this: because of that incident, Tio is going absolutely nowhere. That Mickey Fricky will not fight anybody that got a chance to beat him, so that belt can get up out of that top rank shelf. And I've been consistently saying this for the longest, dog, because there's always banter being spoken that certain fighters ain't fighting these people because they scared, they ducking. Nah, some of these people, like Bob, to attract future prospects, I gotta have that hardware because I gotta promise them something. So what can I promise them? You will be viewed on TV, you will be promoted, and I can make you a champion. He is not about to let Tio go anywhere and bounce on that thing. He will put his ass on the shelf if he have to, and let his whole career go to waste before he
Well,
let him go take that belt to another place. So
um, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just think that the politics play a role where when they see if they want you to get rid of a belt, they just put somebody in the mandatory that you don't want to fight. They just put them right there in the mandatory spot, and it will force you to drop the belt. You know what I mean? I've seen that happen a couple times too, where you're not taking this fight, you don't have to. Well, guess who popped up on your mandatory? Wow, that's why it was kind of funny. I told people this. I called this out a couple years back. I said it was funny that you never seen any PBC fighters on the WBO rankings. It was rare. How the hell did Sean Porter disappear into the mandatory spot? No one was seeing him move down on the WBO. Bob Arum told, I said, this is exactly what happened. Bob Arum told Terrence Crawford, watch me get you the Sean Porter fight and put him in the make him mandatory, right? So as soon as he put him in the mandatory position, Crawford got the fight. They did their negotiations. He was trying to make Crawford sign again by showing him I can manipulate the rankings and get these other fights for you. But Terrence Crawford didn't buy into it because he's like, you should have been got me the fights across the streets. Yes, you got me Sean, but he didn't have no belt. He's not the main attraction. So when Terrence Crawford left, he went to the WBC sanctioning body. They had a little get together, whatever. I forgot that little what they call it. But Terrence Crawford was trying to get a mandatory against Earl Spence without Heyman. And that was the start off before they even negotiated. I was telling people, you don't start off negotiating by trying to put middlemen already in your negotiations. I said Terrence Crawford is starting off on a bad foot already before he even go to PBC and try to negotiate. That's stuff people leave out. But the point I was
Well,
getting at,
you're absolutely correct with that. And then he sued Bob, right? Or was that after he sued
no,
Bob?
no, that was right after that when because Bob was like, I can get you to fight with Earl. You are absolutely right. He said, nah, you would have been good. You couldn't give me that fight. So then he sued him. So once PBC knew that he sued Top Rank, Eddie Hearn came out and said, I can't get him no fights. PBC was in position to really bully Terrence Crawford into submitting to what they wanted him to do. And I remember him talking about that with Andre Ward, but I don't want to, he pretty much was like, they was acting like he didn't have no more options when Turkey was right there sitting on his right hand and nobody didn't really know that, what I'm saying, put two and two together. That pretty much helped him. But again, you got to be careful when you move like that. But back to what we were talking about with the fighters, there are certain people that they will certain things Bob would do to manipulate the rankings to take that belt off Tio. That's pretty much what I was rounding up trying to get to with that.
Yeah, I was about to say, going back to what Thomas had said, I think
Hmm.
in that particular situation, I think they want to get rid of Tio and they will take the chance of losing that damn belt just to get him out of their hair. They have been dealing with him because he tried to sue them, trying to break out of his contract before fulfilling his contract. Can you mute? I can't. Somebody needs to mute before before fulfilling his contractual obligations. He tried to sue them, and that's when they put, like you said, Ohio, they put Subriel Matios in his face. He didn't want to fight him, but that's how I think, isn't that what you're like on the lines of what you're talking about? How they'll put a tough opponent in front of you so that they'll
Hmm.
get that belt up off you one way or the other, because they offered him Subriel Matias. He turned it down.
Yep.
He was offered Devin before too when they were friendly with Devin. He turned it down. So I think they just want to get rid of TOS at this point.
Yeah, because he's a good fighter that's acting like a diva to my point. Like, bruh, just fight. It's like you didn't already got past. You beat Loma. You lost to Kimbosis. I mean, you done been up and
Cambosis
down.
beat the dog shit out of him.
Right. You done been up and down in this thing. So I don't get why he's afraid to take risk. I mean, I don't. It's head scratching when it comes to that guy. It's like I can't even. He's losing momentum. It's like people don't really. They don't start not even caring if he's fighting, and that's not a good thing. That's definitely not a good thing.
Well,
But
and that's the thing too. He keeps his name relevant, but not in the best of way. Like he's taking a page out of Bill Haney's book, or just staying in the news cycle with nonsense and junk. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, you're not fighting anybody. Why the hell every time I open up something, I'm reading about you? You not fighting no damn body.
yep.
Yeah, you see, so Teofimo Lopez, his manager, came out the other day saying that Tio won't be fighting until next year. But then Teofimo was on Twitter, on the Twitter Spaces, pretty much talking the other day and was saying that you know he didn't want to fight Devin Haney because you know he's supposed to be Turkey Al-Sheik's guy. And he think that the fight would have been corrupted and everything, and saying that Tank Davis was right, and saying that he would have had to get the knockout to beat Devin Haney. So you know crazy stuff with Teofimo Lopez, man. I'm just where I'm at with Teofimo Lopez right now. I'm like, bro, like you. you on record saying that you ain't made over 1 million in a fight, and they no, you talk to Punch Drunk and you tell them that yo, I was offered 11 million to fight Devin Haney. So I'm just like the numbers. I'm looking at these numbers like, bro, come on, like you ain't made 1 million, then you turned down 11 million to fight Devin Haney. Like
Well, I don't believe those
it's
numbers to
off to
begin
me.
with. I don't believe those numbers for one goddamn second.
I don't believe him either, sis, for real. But
I'm
uh,
sure it'd have been more. Bottom line is, I'm sure to your point, it would have been more than what you've been paid before the fight. So that's that.
absolutely,
And then also, if you saw the Keyshawn interview that he did with Cigar Talk, he said that he was offered the Tio fight for the same amount of money that Tio would
same.
have been getting paid to fight Boots if that fight were to take place. Tio turned that down. So it just appears to me that you really don't want to fight. And to Ohio's point, stop acting like a fucking prima donna. You're not really that. I mean, you good, but who have you really fought that says that you are the biggest star, that you get to dictate basically who you fight without any repercussions? You're not that big of a star. You don't garner that many eyes. I mean, your last fight, you didn't even
Right.
sell out the Hulu Theater.
Facts. And
So, I mean,
absolutely, I agree 100%. And I'm gonna double down what you just said, Bob. When Bob was trying to show him a lesson after he beat, because a lot of these fighters don't know their business either. They think they do, but they don't. And I remember Bob trying to show him a lesson. I was telling people, Bob was trying to show him he's not worth what he think he is because he beat Loma. So he was under this impression that Loma was this big Tank, Canelo type of superstar, which he wasn't. When he beat him, he started talking like he needed a bigger purse. And I want this, I want that. So guess what? When he get that Cambosa fight came, uh Top Rank was trying to show him you're not worth that. And when Eddie Hearn overbid it, Bob was pissed because he was trying to show Tio something. So he got that he tried to win the bid, but he didn't. Thriller got it. Thriller got it and took that fight, and they gave, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like 6 million uh for that fight. Cambosos was getting 2 and Tio was getting 4, overbid it. But make a long story short, that fight got postponed 3 times. The ticket sales wasn't doing good. Then the one,
you went out. Oh
my
no,
bad,
what happened?
yeah, my bad. That was somebody calling. Eddie
Oh,
Hearn
I'm
ended
sorry.
up Eddie Hearn ended up getting that fight, and he won this. He was the second one in the purse bid. That the fight was 2.5 or something, which that was cool. You know what I mean? But they overbid. Thriller overbid it because they was just trying to get revenue and get people to come watch their platform. So they threw that bag, and Teal was trying to see, I am worth that. But the tickets wouldn't sell it, so Thriller had to throw the whole fight away, and Cambosis and Tio fought on the zone. Bob Arum knows this business, and you're not a superstar, bro. You're not a superstar, and 1.5 is good. You're not. So this was good money for you. You know what I'm saying? So he thought he was more than what he was, and Bob was trying to show him that. That's why Bob was pissed at Eddie Hearn. When I'm trying to discipline one of my fighters, don't come cutting in trying to get him to come on your platform and all that. I'm trying to show him a lesson, and I get that. That's like I understand they're competitive with promoters, but you know exactly what Bob is trying to do, Eddie, and you trying to sweep him under the rug, trying to steal one of his fighters, or hey, come over here, we give you the bag. He's trying to prove that he's not worth what he think he is, and that's what some people, didn't understand. So that's the double bound what you was just saying. He's not what he think he is, and that's the problem. Like, bruh, stop. You gotta
Facts.
understand. You
And
gotta.
I'm gonna go off of this with my boy Tony from a Shadow Sports podcast. Yeah, I mean the thing is, this is where I'm at with it. If To's not taking these fights, then I feel like nobody should offer him no fights. Then if they gonna be on that type of time, and like if he ain't gonna take the big fights that's offered to him with Keyshawn and Boots and Devin Haney, like bro, then we don't need to be giving them any more fights at all if that's the case. Just starve them all the way out 100%. You already got Top Rank. They don't deal with no Tiafimo. I already mentioned it that all they taking is they promotional fee. And then Tiafimo, he even said himself, he like, I can go anywhere, all I gotta do is pay Top Rank their promotional fee and I'm good. so I can fight anywhere. That's what Teofimo said himself. And I said to myself, I said, Top Rank, they getting a promotional fee off of Tio. They letting them fight on whatever platform. They don't care. They don't gotta promote him or any of that. They ain't gotta worry about him. They can let him do his little crash out nutcase shit wherever the hell he gonna do it at. And you remember I told you earlier, Mark, I was like the interview with Bob Earl. He was like, he said the man Tio was crashing out, and I'm like, man, Bob Earl, old ass in his 90s, up there talking about Teofimo Lopez crashing out
That
here,
is
man.
Fairfax ain't
crazy.
even know where he was at that day, so I'm not even sure what he got going on. But to your point, though, Bob ain't even know where the hell he was at, why he was dressed or nothing. But
He like Tio's crashing out.
oh my goodness, one
But
of
you
his
know what?
kids done taught him that term or something.
But those promoters have to work together too. When you got
Yeah,
fighters like that, and I match make too, and I actually thinking about coming up with something. I was telling a lot of guys that I help put fights together. Guys hit me up, hey Marcus, you got fighters, da da da. So I help on the back end a little bit when it comes to matchmaking. And one thing we notice what we deal with a lot is we have guys that's not even on the level that T.O. is. And they're ducking so many fights on smaller cards. They want to fight guys that's 2-19 and two. They want to get, sneak an undefeated record by fighting. I call them misfits. Like these fighters are so horrible that some of these guys are fighting. They're not even being pushed. You know what I mean? So they try to get up to 17, 18 and 0 and be like, yeah, I'm a real fighter. I'm a contender, but they're not. But what happens is they duck so many fights, and I say we need to start putting labels on these guys that's ducking a lot of fights, that's moving. Hey, man, we got to fight for you to, over here. We want you to fight here. And we need to start labeling them for matchmakers to pretty much freeze them out to a point. If you ducking, you get 4 or 5 ducks, you shouldn't even be allowed to fight for about 2 or 3 years. Like it has to be something where we punish these guys
some
for avoiding,
repercussions. Yeah, I agree.
and I
Man,
think we
that's
have to do
it's
that.
crazy because I used to be a league owner in battle rap here in Cincinnati.
Uh-huh.
And I had a rule basically where I was like, yo, if you miss a battle and you end up ducking the battle and no call, no show, like you had to pay a fee to get back in, and it's gonna be a while before we put you in. And then, I was in communication with a lot of the other league owners around Ohio where we all communicated about different battle rappers as far as them missing battles, etc., performing bad and everything. So that's something similar to like the promoters in boxing that they should all be in communication about some of these fighters on some of their dealings on what they be on.
Absolutely. Because if Tio, they come together and put Tio in a situation where he getting frozen out. No, you're not fighting on my card. You're not fighting. They can do it. They can do it. All of a sudden, then he gonna get in line. I promise you. He'll get in line.
Facts,
He'll
Yeah,
get
facts.
in
I
line.
mean, he does. You're right. He needs to be sat down. He didn't fight for like a year though, right? When he was going through that issue with Top Rank trying to sue them and all of that, he was on the
Yeah,
shelf for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That was after the He ain't fight since the Claggett fight.
Yeah, and they offered him super deal tears and he turned it down. And then he went to try and sue them or
And
some
then when
nonsense.
that wallet getting low, y'all
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
I seen Adrian Broner go through it. Trust me.
Facts.
I know. I know personally. That whole
These are things that they do to themselves, though, and problems that they bring on themselves. Because, as we stated, Tio is a talented guy, but he does a lot of goofy shit. And your talent will only take you so far. Because, to Ohio's point, there's still a business side of boxing, and if people don't want to deal with you in business, you might as well be dead in the water, no matter how talented you are. Look
uh-huh.
at the shit that Devin and Bill are going through. All them shenanigans that Bill had going on. Nobody wants to deal with them. Devin is what 32-0 and this and that and this and that. They couldn't sell out a backyard barbecue.
Yep.
Facts. You
Facts.
said, and my boy at Shot of Sports Podcast Cincinnati says T.O. only lifeline right now seems to be Oscar. Oscar been riding for T.O. the last few weeks, and with Ryan being down probably until next year, he need another fighter. Yeah, definitely. I will say this. That's one thing I
Yeah,
did
I
think
did see
about.
Oscar glazing.
Yeah, Oscar been no Oscar. Like I said before, Oscar speaking for Ryan. Ryan don't go by what Oscar say. His
at
Oscar
all.
word ain't bond with far as with Ryan. You know what I mean? Ryan gonna do what he wanna do, and that's bad advice in my opinion. For as Oscar telling him to sit out another year, especially after he already done got suspended and sat a year. You know what I'm saying? And not fight at all. Like after this wrist injury, like Ryan said, 6 weeks his wrist would be fine after that. It'll be healed up and he'll be ready to, lock back in and, get back fighting. So, if that's what Ryan wants, then Oscar should be, like he always says, do what the fighter
Yep,
wants.
yeah. I'm about to say Ryan is definitely one of those fighters that know damn well the promoter works for him, not the other way around.
I think
So
Oscar is
he's
using that.
proven that
He using his
time
little bit of power
and time
because
again.
Ryan lost, and he get a little
He ain't got no
leverage.
damn
Now he
power.
get to say, I can help you. I'm gonna move you here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that for you. He's you pretty much trying to you know
He
get
can
back in
try it.
control of Ryan.
He can try, but
Trying to
the
rebuild him in
craziest
some
shit
type of
is
way. I don't know what the heck where he gonna go
the
after
craziest
he's
shit is Ryan's a
having wait for
star.
another year. I mean, who he gonna bring him back against? Don't be surprised. 2026, Ryan Garcia, Adrian Broner.
Anybody want to see that? But Ryan is a star. You know what I'm saying?
Like
So
just crazy, but I
whether
wouldn't
he
be
lost or
surprised.
not, that is crazy.
But he's trying.
He's still a
I
star.
think Ryan should fight. If he's okay and he feel like he should fight, he should come back and fight this year. Uh, yeah, stay busy, man. I think that'd be better
Yeah,
for him. Because
I
if
say
he wait a
mid
whole another year and
October,
then he lose
November.
a year, then he's mentally done. He's completely
Yeah,
done as a fighter. I'm sorry.
yeah. He not that mentally strong to begin with.
He just
So
food. That's all he gonna be.
Yeah, man. So I had a question. So why is this new generation of fighters so emotional and not cut from the same cloth as the old school fighters?
I wouldn't say that the new generation.
Man, that's a good question. That goes all over.
I would say it's only a
It's
few of them, if we're
well, they
being
got it
honest.
different, man. It's a lot of these fighters are social
Can you
media.
hear
They
me?
do the
Yeah,
social
we can hear
media
you.
here.
Yeah,
Can
no,
you hear me?
no. I was saying that they're not. I don't
Can you
think
hear
it's
me?
all of them. I think that some of them they get their ass up out of here. The ones that are acting like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I believe like Keyshawn, Abdullah, um, the Vargas brothers, Shushu, Carmel Moten. When he out of witness protection, they fighting. You know what I'm saying? And they fighting
Right.
often. You know what I mean? So from first glance, anyway, it's our so-called elite boxers that actually walk around here, on their Madonna shit, like a
Right.
virgin, you know what I'm saying, touched for the very first time, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to getting in the ring. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
want money, flowers, etc. You know what I'm saying? Now they don't even, don't get me wrong, they deserve to be paid, obviously. But sometimes I don't think they're being realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like Tio, for example. How you want all this money? You really don't garner that much of a crowd. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I know they have a whole team to pay and et cetera, but something they need to learn. You know what I'm saying? Pick a team better for one, and only have people that's in your corner that's beneficial. Don't have 1,000 people in your pockets that's not making moves for you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That
Facts.
that's just the only. I don't think it's the whole generation. I just think it's a few, like what the cops say, a few rotten apples. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I think I see. I think it's a little bit. I think it's majority because I ain't gonna say majority. I say like half of them because it's like you see some of these guys. You see them on social media, how they move on social media. Then you see, they certain propagandas and certain moves, how they be, moving in the interviews and everything, and just see peep their demeanor on how they move is majority where you see a lot of these guys like these guys be real live emotional and then you see about it carries into the fights as well. You see some of these guys out here running, they ain't fighting, it's just crazy. This is just, and then the whole aspect of a lot of the fighters, scared to lose. They owe. A lot of them scared to lose. They owe. They picking fights wisely. Going into fights to where they want to take the fights for big money, but they want to take the easy fights for big money. And a lot of these guys taking guarantee bags. A lot of these guys not trying to, become a brand of their own and sell their brand and make more money that they could if they become a pay-per-view star like the old school fighters as well, far as that aspect. So it was like a lot of in depth layers I was thinking about it for us that in particular for sure. But it's crazy. It's crazy.
No, and you know what? I definitely agree. And I said this before. I think that they are more in love with the idea of them being boxers than actually being boxers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot has to do with the social media age that we're in. Everything is televised to the highest regard. So they're afraid to be embarrassed. Like you said, they're afraid to lose that. Oh, and I made a video about it because Frank Martin actually made a great point that it's a lot of us that treat each other like that. Like, we just completely disregard one of our fighters if they take a loss. And it's like, I don't think people are being realistic with their expectations. Only
Yeah.
one person's hand can be raised in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? And if you're fighting, like you said, Ohio, if you're fighting the type of competition that you're supposed to be fighting on the level that you would like us to think that you're on, then you should have a 50-50 chance of losing. You shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
constantly be in the ring with people that we're like, man, we ain't even gonna watch this fight. He's gonna watch this guy. If those are constantly your opponents, then something is completely wrong.
Because I agree 100%. It's just nature. When we watching somebody fight, we don't like to see people bully other people that's scared and don't fight back. We don't even like to see that. It's like you fighting on somebody that can't punch back. You know what I mean? So that's just nature. We don't even like seeing that. So yes, eventually we want to watch competition. We want to see two elites against two elites. And I always tell fighters this: you can lose and still win. I tell them this all the time. You
Absolutely.
can lose and still win. What do you mean by that, Marcus? You can win the fans over even in your performance. They want to. I done seen guys lose, and I said I want to see him fight again. I love what I seen with him. I definitely want to see him back. He pushed it. He pushed. He gave it a great fight. I love that. Yes, we want to see you back. We don't care if you lost, bro. You brought it. You gave it all, and that's what it is. That's what it's about. Sean Porter. Go
Mhm.
ahead, Queen. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, prime example, David Morrell.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And another prime example, when even when Abdullah got knocked down those two times, he got up and won the fight. His fans ain't go nowhere. If
No.
anything, it excited us even more. Like, oh, okay, he can take a damn punch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to your point, 100%. Because look at Devin Haney on May 2nd. He won, but everybody's still like, man, get out of here, man. That's trash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shakur's record is spotless. He couldn't sell out my grandmother's birthday party. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So,
that's
like you said, when you win, you can still lose, and when you lose, you can still win. It's all about your performance.
that's it.
And to me, I want to see how you come back from a loss. That's going to tell me if you're mentally strong. That's going to tell me if you are mentally prepared to continue this longevity style. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man. You cooking. Man, look, you're telling the truth. That tells a lot. But I think us as a boxing community that's whole and got our own pages, our own brands, it's our job to educate the novice, because some of them people that watch this boxing stuff, they only watch them, and I said this before, they only watch them so they can call somebody a bum after they lose. Like, get out of here.
Or a duck or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
like,
definitely need to educate ourselves more on the business side of boxing, because that does play a part in a lot of these matches we see getting made, whether people want to believe it or not.
no, yeah, that too. But I'm talking about more of the fighters. I'm talking about us educating these novice boxing fans who don't know as much as us, where they're just looking to call somebody a trashy fighter or a bum after it's over. We got to educate them and let them know he's still a good fighter. I still want to see him fight. because we can dictate the narrative. That's pretty much what I'm saying. It's like a lot of us can dictate the
That's
narrative.
a fact.
How people, because I didn't seen it. I didn't get into it with certain guys on my platform, and they try to put me against another platform. Oh man, Champ Side didn't say this. I'm going to go back over to the Champ Side. I rock with Champ Side. Go stay with Champ Side, but you're not about to sit here and tell me certain things and try to divide us. No, he got his own platform, his own opinion on certain things. Cool, but at the same time, you're wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Don't try to come and bully. But you got a lot of guys that follow you, and they agree with your opinion and whatever you say.
Even if they don't even really agree.
Right. So but you can set the tone. You set the tone, and I always try to let people know that. Look at the bright side of things. There's a lot of guys who got 4 losses, 3 losses, and beating contenders or former champions. Like, we see it, and that's a great thing, man. It's really, really great to see guys that stay in the gym. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, I couldn't be a boxer after 6 or 7 losses.
Hey, yep.
I'm telling you that, right? Hey, you a real beast. You keep coming back to that ring. That's why I say I make my little jokes about American. But look how many times that man got back up and had a fight after a fight after a fight. These new fans, they want you to retire the moment you get knocked out.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I try to remind people of this often. One of the faces of boxing has 3 losses on his record? 2, 3? You know what I'm saying? Nobody even mentions Canelo's losses. Who is it? The greatest boxer of all time, Ali. You know what I'm saying? He has losses on his record. So a loss does not define you. The way you come back from it does. And you're right, that's very important for everyone to do. That's why I created my own space, because I wanted to be able to say what I needed to say, regardless if people agreed with it or not, because what I feel is what I feel, and I'm looking through a slightly different lens. You know what I'm saying? Although I am starting to create content, I'm not crazy, and I don't follow what other people say. I will make my own decisions based on my own thought processes from what I see. You know what I'm saying? If we happen to agree, then we agree. If we don't, then we just don't. You know what I mean? I don't let nobody sway me one way or another. I feel how I feel, and that's just it.
Right. Absolutely.
Facts. And I know I had a question on that too with far as do you culture thing
Hello?
with some of the fighters, feeling like they don't want to lose their O's and stuff a little bit. Like, is it a
Cam,
culture
your
thing?
microphone. Come on now. You working for the FBI? You sound mic'd up. What's going on? They wiretapping. We got to shut down the Carter. They wiretapping.
That's funny, man.
Okay. Ooh, a little staticky right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. They wiretapping.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, do I sound better now?
Hell no.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead. You were sounding a little bit better on my end.
So yeah, do y'all think about what the culture like for us? Like, is it only the black fighters that's doing that for us, protecting their O's and stuff, and does the culture?
Absolutely.
Is it the black culture being the
Absolutely.
only ones that care about the fighters losing and making it a bigger thing than what it is, and making the fighters feel uncomfortable?
Absolutely.
I think so.
That's a great. I never really thought too deeply into that, but I think we put a lot of pressure on our own fighters because we don't support them as much.
I made a video about this. It's absolutely the truth, and I blame Floyd Mayweather. As much as I love him, I blame him because these young fighters grew up watching him, and he glorified that so much because Mayweather loves himself so much. He made it a point to make that one of his sales pitches in every one of his fights. And these young fighters grew up watching that. Now, I think half of them slept through the Pretty Boy Floyd fades. But and they woke up during Money Mayweather because Pretty Boy Floyd was up in there with damn near everybody whooping ass and taking names. He wasn't really so much worried about that in the beginning of his career, or even towards the middle. Towards the end, he kind of got whatever. But coming up, making his name, turning into Money Mayweather, he was in there with some real dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of these fighters right now, all they look at is his record. They just look at the 5-0/0. They don't peel that goddamn record open and see who he fought. You know what I'm saying? Floyd was in there with some real dogs. A lot of these guys, they protecting that so much that they'll get in there with Joe goddamn Blow and then tout that record around like I'm supposed to give a good goddamn.
Right.
If you 35-0 and 30 names on your resume, I can't pronounce their goddamn name or pick them out of a lineup. I mean, are you really like that?
Yeah. I think it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on the fighters, though. I think we got to embrace them and let them know. And I think social media too plays a part where they mental. It's like I can only imagine fighting, getting my ass whooped, and then when I go on my page, I see memes, I see video clips of people making fun of me, and it's like you got to be mentally strong more in this era than back in the day because man, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. So that plays a part, man. That definitely plays a part when it comes to them. The fans, our community. When it comes to our fans, we play a big part of that. We got to support them. That is not that serious. I remember the HBO time where Zab Judah. It seemed like Zab was fighting everybody. He was losing. I'm like, Zab fighting Americana lost. Zab fight Bowdermere lose. Tim, Costa Zoom and Costa. He was losing. He won a lot of fights, but I didn't care. I just knew I knew Zab was still gonna bring it and try to win. He was gonna try to bring it, man. Joshua Cloudy, that's another one. He was winning some and he lost some, but we knew he was gonna entertain us and he was going in there to try to win. So I miss boxing where I didn't care about the records. Yes, good to have an undefeated record here and there, and that's the excitement, the build up, because the guy never lost. And how's his reaction when he first lose? I like that. I like that build up. But after that, it's like I want to see him try to come back. So, I don't really shit on fighters and think it's over when they lose, man. Just come back, keep trying. So you got to be mentally tough for it though, because this is a tough era. Woo-wee.
Yeah, and to your point, we do that a lot to us because Caleb Plant lost. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not being televised. It's not being memed. It's not being any of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh man, he lost. It was a tough fight. Resendez, he came in there to fight. Blah blah blah. The whole narrative around that situation is completely different than it is for our fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think Caleb Plant. I still think he's up in there. Like Caleb Plant ain't nothing to sleep on. You know what I'm saying?
No,
the thing that just happened to have his number at that night, at that good time. I still got Caleb Plant whooping a whole bunch of people ass. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, if somebody take a loss, that don't automatically make them a bum. Look at their competition. Now, if you lose like Hamid McGee did when he lost to that damn pastry chef, that was some shameful shit. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, if you're losing to other elite boxers and you're supposed to be elite, only one motherfucker can be the elitist. You know what I'm saying?
And it's good losses. There's such thing as good losses.
Exactly.
I don't know what people get out of that. You lost, man. Kelly Pavlik lost 2 fights in his career. I think Kelly went 35-2, I believe, 35-2. He lost to Bernard Hopkins and Sergio Martinez. I can go to, man, I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are good losses, So it is what it is, man. We just got to start rewarding them more. But again, these guys got to understand that the you protecting your O and not fighting nobody, that ain't gonna get you the respect because people are gonna start calling you out on it.
Exactly.
It's not like we hating on you. We just telling the truth.
Making the shit be real. Yeah, look at Devin Haney. You wanted that O back so damn bad at the Ryan Molly whopped your ass. That's all you cared about. You don't care about rematching that man. You cared about that perfect record.
Yeah, because he didn't want the rematch. That's the crazy when he first happened.
No, you don't want that damn rematch.
It was the PR for me with Devin because I rock with Devin, but it was the PR. His team, his dad, put him in a bad situation, man.
That lawsuit put him in a bad situation. Man.
Yes, I couldn't defend it. They was cooking that boy everywhere. I couldn't defend that. It was so hot that you couldn't even say you rock with Devin without nobody cooking you. It was crazy.
Okay, you had to enter the witness protection program.
Man, absolutely.
Or him from the bushes, child.
So yeah. Speaking of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, do y'all ever think the rematch gonna happen between them two guys?
I think that's a fight that should happen, but will it happen? I don't think so. And if it does, it'll happen at a time that nobody gives a good goddamn about it.
You got an echo. I don't know why.
It's an echo.
Do y'all hear echo?
Do y'all hear echo? No, I hear it perfect now.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I don't think you gonna. I don't think they fight, and if they do,
It's an echo.
It is an echo.
you hear it?
You hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I gotta come in. Do I gotta go out?
I think it's on my end. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, but I think that if they do rematch, I don't even think I want to see it. Devin seemed like the type he'll rematch him when they bought like 36. Like he gonna want it when he's 36, and Ryan has surgery and all. I don't think he want to take that fight. And I like Devin. I just think Ryan personally got his number. I do think Ryan cheated.
Yep.
I keep telling people that. I do think Ryan cheated, but I think Ryan beat him mentally before the physical fight even started.
And that's what people don't understand. It's mental too, yo.
Mm-hmm.
And I made yesterday I was on a panel and I was talking about the interaction between Keyshawn and Abdullah Mason. And I said I did not like Abdullah's response in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have to understand that you fighting a nigga mentally before you ever put your hands on him physically. You know what I'm saying? Look at the flinch that Tank did to Frank Martin. Look at how he just slightly pushed Rolly off the stage. All of these is mental warfare. You know what I'm saying? They're moving chess pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. To your point, they fought 6 times in the amateurs. Ryan whooped his ass 3 times, so it was split down the middle. So it's not like Devin completely washed him. To your point, he has Devin's number, and Devin knows that. He probably won't admit it out loud, but he knows it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason that they put him number 10 on that little punk ass list they had, and they ain't checking for him.
Which is so crazy. That was like, why he got to be 10, man? I was like, y'all.
That's Bill Dream. That's Bill Haney's wet dream. First of all, because if he think that Devin can rumble with half that list, he is asleep. He got the right name, the Dream, because his ass is asleep.
She cooking right now, man. I like Devin though, but it's gonna be some tough fights on him. And my thing is, he just got to get back to being confident, being first, and some in boxing. He got to get back to that. His last performance, I'm giving him a pass. I think it was okay. He boxed, decent, but it was more like he was still cautious to me. It was like he wasn't comfortable. He never really settled in my opinion. But if you hear other people say, "Oh, he did good. He did this," I'm like, bro, no, that wasn't.
Man, let the Haney fans tell it, man. They think he put on a master class.
Nah, man, that's not it. Because when you got people,
they're repeating what Bill says. You know what I'm saying?
Each and every one of, bro. Earlier, man, I made a post on Facebook about Keyshawn not missing weight, and then my boy Austin, he's a big Devin Haney fan. He hops on the post. He's like, oh man, I need you to keep the same energy with Keyshawn that you did with Ryan and all of that. I'm like, bro, I said this is about Keyshawn. I'm holding Keyshawn accountable. What do you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling I think it's nasty word for Keyshawn to miss weight and get stripped of his title on his first title defense. Like, at least get past your first title defense.
That's bad, bro. That's like, I had a guy ask on my boy, shout out to him, and he asked me a question. He said, should a trainer get trainer of the year taken away if his fighter miss weight? And and get stripped. And I said, I wouldn't put it's a decent question, but I wouldn't put too much on Bomac. I think I start questioning the trainers when it comes more to the performance enhancing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I,
damn all that. If we questioning trainers, let's bring Eddie Reynoso ass to the front of the class because I got a bunch of questions for him.
Yeah, no,
Man,
right. That's what I'm saying. Like now, when it comes to him, you see all these performing enhancing. Then yeah, we're gonna question that. We're gonna question that. But I feel like your trainer is gonna push you, but it's the fighter can. It's got it. You can lead him to the water, but it's up to him to drink it for the rest. You know what I mean? So I
right.
think Keyshawn knew he works around Terrence Crawford, elite team. That falls mostly on him. They don't have a lot of fighters missing weight, so we can't really put that on Bomac. You get what I'm saying? So that falls on Keyshawn. I personally think he probably just came in like we talked about earlier. He probably had a strategy that he wanted to come in bigger because he feel like De Los Santos is a puncher. That could be. That could be the case. I really can't, prove that, but that could have been the case. That could have been one of his strategies. Try to come in big because he just did it. Well, he should take the fight. I just took the fight with this other guy who came in overweight. Nah, bro. That's
Yeah.
on you. Everybody don't have to take the fight.
And I think too he was banking on the fact that De Los Santos was been out of the ring and probably needed the money. But
Mm-hmm.
joke is on him because Bob paid De Los Santos anyway. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope.
So
Yeah,
now
that's
you
dope.
did all of
That's
that for
dope.
nothing. You did all of that for nothing.
And,
All of that conning and maneuvering for absolutely nothing. Now you got to go to 140 and start all over again.
now
Dang.
that's that Samson Liquors PBC right over there,
Mm-hmm.
standing firm on business right
Now, and
there.
that's dope. I think that still at the end of the day, and stuff, still reward the fighter to give him the paycheck, even though the other fighter didn't do his
Yeah, because
part.
it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, yeah, because it's still got to eat, man. We prize fighters. I'm just glad they didn't cancel the whole card, man. Yo, how many times have we saw that where
Yeah.
everybody thinking they got to fight and then the main event just tear everything down? So
Well, they had a strong second, and that goes to show you too how much they really think of his brothers because now your brother is on another nigga undercard. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even bump your brother up. They still
Man,
left you. They still left your ass up
you
under
took it
Abdullah. You
there,
know what I'm
sis.
That's
You
saying?
took it
funny.
there. You took it there because I was headed
Listen,
in that direction,
listen.
sis. I was
That's
headed right in
funny.
that same direction. I'm like
Dang.
they the hometown kids and they still ain't even main event.
Dang, man.
Nasty work,
That
Bob
is
Arum.
nasty. That's
Nasty
nasty.
work.
Yeah, that is. That is. I think, but now this main event, okay, it's pressure. I think it's a little bit more pressure on Abdullah now because I personally believe this is going to be the first time Abdullah actually received bulls in Virginia. He's in Keyshawn's backyard. Keyshawn didn't started this call out. I want to see how Abdullah handle bulls. Everybody loves Abdullah.
Mm.
He's a great kid outside the ring. Uh, he's never really had to deal with somebody coming at him like Keyshawn did it. So it threw him off. That's why I was telling people. It would have caught me off guard too. He's never been in a situation where somebody just like, oh, but what you want to do? Let's do this now. He's never seen that. So that was the first time he experienced that, and I seen hesitation, you know what I mean, where he got, oh, I don't want to talk to you no more. It's like, I don't want to talk. I know what I got to do. His hands do the talking. He's a quiet assassin. But I think it's going to be pressure on this event. I do think he will receive some boos, because of Keyshawn. How he handles that is going to be great on his experience level. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think that's going to be I don't I'll be surprised if they don't boo. I'll be surprised. But if you in somebody else's backyard who just got stripped and he ain't even fighting and he called you out, yeah, it's going to be some boos. I don't think he's going to be well accepted as much, and he should put the lights out and put on a great performance and it is what it is because they're gonna be asking Abdullah about Keyshawn for the rest. They're gonna be doing it. Ain't nothing he can do about it. So
I think they
Right.
already did, but if I may, I just want to give like a little pushback to that. Although he is young, and I completely understand that, and he is inexperienced on a big stage as the main event because he's
hmm
been co-headlining for him all the time. But as far as the being caught off guard part, I really can't give that to him, because 3 days ago you were just on Jean Tell and you made reference that you were looking for all the smoke. You can't then, when a nigga tell you he got the smoke, put on a gas mask. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you know that you said this thing and it wasn't crazy, he wasn't talking crazy, he was assertive, a little more assertive than he was on that stage. If you know that you said this about this man, you know you his man, you know you his co-main event, you know you going to his press conference, ain't no way in hell he caught you off guard. I'm just not hearing that. That's like me sitting up here, I can't stand Cam J. He get on my goddamn nerves while I'm getting dressed to go to his birthday party. And then when I get there, he say, "What you say, Ty?" And I be like, "Huh? What you mean? What you talking about?" You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. Especially if you
I
know
get
what you just
I get what
said.
you're saying, but I don't think. See, my thing is certain kids don't be around that atmosphere to even know that. Like some of the things he say is really based off people asking him questions and he has to say it. It's almost like he rehearsed it. I don't think it comes off naturally, like he just, oh, I want all the smoke, this and that. Yeah, you want all the smoke, but he has an experience. You will be surprised when certain people, they come off in a situation where they have never experienced it, and once it happened to them, they'll learn from it. They'll know how to respond. He's not a trash talker. He didn't know how to go back and forth when he was talking about, because I think Keyshawn said stuff that threw him off where you the man. You can make it happen. He can't make it happen. He got a team that he always listened to. So he's not going to sit there and say, yeah, I'll make it happen. He's taught that go on his team. He hasn't gotten a position where he's the A side and calling the shots like that. So I looked at it from that perspective of his hesitation. I don't look at it where you feel like he was saying this stuff and he should see this coming at him. No, Keyshawn talks to him outside of that. A lot of people don't know that we had a conversation where I told him they're not your real friends because they were behind the scenes. Abdullah is my boy. This is my guy. This is what Shakur and them saying. They're trying to play the friend role with him. And he like, I want to eventually fight y'all. But
I know. I'm very aware of that. And I know
yeah.
that Abdullah sees that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying he's not a dumb kid by any means. And I get your point. It's like he's not a big talker. He lets his fist do the talking, which is where I would rather him do that. But in that moment, like we discussed earlier, it's mental warfare. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even want it to appear as if this nigga got the slighter edge on you in any situation. I mean, I don't expect him to get up and start punching him out, obviously, but at least stand firm like how you did when you were saying you want the smoke. That's all.
But that's I'm with you though. I think that's the inexperience in him though, because that's why I was telling people. I actually said that when people was like, "Oh, he wasn't scared of this and this." I was just like, his hesitation. You can tell he wasn't prepared for that moment. That goes also into fighting a better opponent to get him mentally ready. If he's not ready for that, you get what I'm saying? He's not going to be mentally ready for the booze and somebody is. He got to get prepared for that. That's what you go through building a fighter. He has to get used to. He hasn't got to a point yet where he fought somebody and they be like, "Hey man, I think he's gonna give you problems. I think this one is going. He probably can knock you out." So he has to get through that. You know what I mean? In this fight, there's some danger in this fight too because the guy got the same KO ratio that he got knocked down by, 80%.
Man,
My
it's crazy because
bad.
I think with the whole situation with I thought Abdullah handled the whole situation with Keyshawn well yesterday during the press conference and even after the press conference. I mean, like his composure was, maintained the whole time. Like he was himself the whole entire time. And I had to respect Keyshawn because he was himself as well in this sense as well, as far as my opinion as well. But
Nah,
the
he was
thing
putting on a
was,
little bit.
you
Keyshawn
you
was
put
definitely putting on a
he
little bit.
definitely put on a little extra spice on, during the press conference and
Yeah, he
even after
definitely
the
did.
press conference, even the interview, he mentioned saying like, "Oh, before the press conference, I pulled Abdullah to the side and we had a little conversation and he tried and he told me that." Um, He told me that, when you move up to 140, I'll become champion and everything. Like, try to have that little narrative on there. But then if you look at Abdullah's interview after the press conference, he basically was saying like, I'm waiting on my shot, and I'm moving up. I'm working. So no, he just stayed himself 100%. So I kind of he didn't even they asked him about the story that Keyshawn mentioned, and no, Abdullah didn't even mention it. He didn't even say much about it. He was like, no, we just we seen each other. He know I'm here. He know I'm here, and I think and Abdullah felt that Keyshawn, he's a little bit more intimidated off of some of the media attaching his name to him, especially with him moving up in the rankings in the WBO, and that's what made Keyshawn make the push to be like, okay, let me go ahead and
jump on this.
Check his temperature. Yeah, check his temperature right here.
That could have definitely been the case in that situation. But I had a narrative that I pushed too, where I said, what if Keyshawn already knew that he was already about to go to 140?
That's a possibility, especially since he blew weight. Like, I'm 100% on board with that.
Yep, I said he could have just threw Abdullah a bone. This is the positive side that I'm thinking about Keyshawn, where he said, look, I'm about to act like I'm going to call him out. I'm going to create buzz and, have everybody, Abdullah and his picture all over social media, everybody talking about it, but I'm going up anyway, and he can take the vacant belt and do his thing, and we'll fight later. There are fighters that can do that will have that type of mindset. I just don't know if he's willing to do that, and then it's a possibility to lose a fight. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think that Keyshawn is that generous, because, like I said, he's getting extremely big-headed. And to your point from earlier, with this whole Abdullah Mason thing and the friendship thing, that is what I know for a fact Shakur is infamous for, making friends with anyone that he sees as a threat. And I'm glad that Abdullah stood on business and was like, I mean, yeah, we cool, but eventually I want to get in there and get smoked with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they did not like that, because they try to build a little coalition like they all brotherly love and all this other shit. But that's not how the sport is won or played or any of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just for whatever reason, he stood on business, and I'm glad he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we could be cool, but don't get it twisted. It's smoke here. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Well, Bevo, what's good, man?
What's going on, man?
Salute, in the house. What's good, man?
Innocent.
BVO, man. Cleveland in the house. You better take up for your boy Abdullah, or it's gonna be something.
Hey, man, we already know what it was, man. Abdullah was a real man and was quiet. Everybody wants you to be screaming like these young ladies out here, but he did the thing. Ain't no real man gonna scream. We at work, man. Stop. What's gonna really happen? We at work. But I think Keyshawn, man, he was always probably gonna go to 140. They both in top rank. I've never seen two top ranked fighters fight that's black. Never.
Huh?
They don't feed each other to. That was probably always the plan. Keyshawn go to 140, and Mason stay at 135. Because you see, Emiliano went to 140, so I know Abdullah don't want that kind of smoke. So we'll see what happens, though.
What kind of smoke? Who you pointing at? Who you saying? He don't want that kind of smoke with who?
The biggest fight in boxing in the next 5 years is going to be Emiliano versus Abdullah Mason, man.
Oh my God! Here he goes.
You already know, man.
I thought you about to say Tank. They're gonna be screaming Tank and Abdullah in a couple of years, man. I say about 2. It's gonna be nice.
Hold on, BVO. You really think Emiliano is in big prospect status right now, man? He ain't even in contender status right now.
That ain't true. We got a belt now. We got a little ABCD belt. So we coming up.
Why do you like Emiliano so much?
You said what?
Why do you like Emiliano so much?
I like the way he fight. I like the fact that he's not scared to press the action. On top of that, he one of those guys that rock with the brothers like Fat Joe. I just love guys like that. He reminds me of a young Oscar De La Hoya, kind of.
Fishnet Oscar or Olympian.
Come on, Mark. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
I'm just saying you got different versions. That's all I'm asking. Which one? You know?
You know why you did that? You know why you did that? You want to make another. You want to make another brother look bad.
And then, hey, true story. I think I told Cam this. I had this happen with a couple days ago. Oscar got with some of my people's man and was mad about a little post I made. He said it was funny, but he said I can get sued. You know, I guess he seen the little post I made. It was humor, man. It was funny. A lot of my people who follow me knew it was a joke. I had the P. Diddy, they said, you know, the people they released who was in the freak offs, they said these are the people that they released in the freak off. I put my face on there, Jeff Mayweather. I had Bob Arum, Freddie Roach, Oscar De La Hoya. I had a couple of those guys. It was funny, man. Everybody dying. So I guess Oscar saw that. And it's like, oh, it's
You know the
funny.
thing I will say though.
It's funny. Be careful.
You know what I will say though, because it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's fun to laugh when you see somebody going down, but the best thing to do is learn, not to make those same kind of mistakes because somebody showed him that kind of behavior and he did it. And we gotta have more young men understand that, hey, that's not how you move. That's not how you do it.
That too, but you gotta influence played a big factor too, man. I don't know. I think he was under some stuff too. I ain't gonna say he just. I'm not saying what he is behind secret, but I sometimes when you have a lot of stuff they take and they get caught up, man, them girls probably set them up too. But I still agree with you said too. There's some things that they can learn. It can be a learned behavior as well. So, you know, that can definitely play a big part. But I agree.
Yeah, because I don't celebrate somebody else's downfall. I think that's sick to celebrate somebody else's downfall, man.
You think
That's
that was a downfall?
To be honest, man, I don't think he's the only one doing it. That's the thing. That's why I say it's a downfall.
Because it's a moment where people can make fun and laugh about it, but it's a move on. I don't look at Oscar and be like, "Oh, that's the dude with the fishnets." He accomplished way too much for me.
But a lot do, man. You got to remember, a lot of people don't know boxing like me and you do. A lot of people don't know who Aaron Pryor is.
Well,
they don't know who.
Go ahead.
They don't know these guys, so they think when they hear something negative, that's all they ever was. Oscar probably one of the best fighters that ever lived.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to let them be ignorant then, because you'll get humbled eventually if you don't do your research and really.
I seen a dude make a video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Paul Williams got beat dead, and we thought he was unconscious on the canvas?
Yeah,
somebody tried to say that was Floyd Mayweather, and they hid that.
Huh?
You remember when Paul? You remember when Paul?
I seen that post. I seen that, bro. That was crazy. I seen that. Yeah, that was ignorance right there, boy. Oh yeah, that was funny. And that get a lot of attention too. That's the one thing about social media where you got to be careful, because you can say some of my most viral posts I get, man, is sometimes I'm joking. I remember I made a top 5 pound for pound list. I had Terrence Crawford at 2, Canelo at 3, I had Bivol at 4, and I forgot who I had at 5. I think Tank Davis at 5. I think I had Tank at 5. But it was funny. Guess who was number 1?
Who?
Jake Paul. That bad boy got millions of views and shares. And I said, what? And I said it was a joke. They know I was being funny, but they loved it. And I said, you know what? A lot of content creators take this and they just become that and run with it. You get what I'm saying? Absolutely not, bro. I said, this is crazy, because they show you how to move. Lies get spreaded more than truth.
Oh yeah, quicker than the truth. Yep, absolutely.
It's crazy.
You can tell somebody you doing good, you doing this, you doing that. Won't 5 people know about it, but you make up some shit about somebody that did. Before you hit the corner, everybody on your block will know it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I remember when I first met Cam, he called me the N with ER on it. I was
stop. This man clowning. This man, see, this man BVO says, I hate black fighters, but he's the same guy that's picking Emiliano Vargas over Abdullah Mason. Like,
and he's from Cleveland.
He's from Cleveland.
He's from Cleveland, bro. I cannot
It's the nastiest work, dog.
BVO get it from every angle. You call him the ER. Marky Dan called him a racist. God damn, he in his sunken place. Where do he go?
You know the bad part? When you're an Asiatic black man, that's what you get.
Man, let me ask y'all this question, man. So, which matters more, the belts or the moolah right now?
In this age, I would definitely say the money and get star power, because as we can see, these people with all the belts, they ain't getting no fights, and nobody wants to pay to watch them unless you take a no dose or something. I mean, other than that,
I would say the money because I got to talk to Iran Barkley. You know, he was homeless for like 10 years.
Didn't
He
know
was
that.
homeless. He was
Damn.
homeless, man. Yeah.
Mm.
His nephew.
is that the
Say,
guy you said somebody found on the street? I think I remember you telling the story.
yeah, he was. That's Saquon Barkley's uncle.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
They found Iran in a homeless shelter because he kind of, they put people on med. A lot of people that be homeless be like mentally ill. So he was on a
Mm.
bunch of meds. He said he was homeless for 10 years. So I would always say I understand why the money means so much. I
But
really do.
but my thing is, it's money management too, man. It's like we gotta
Yep.
educate them on. Broner made millions of dollars, bro. And here's my thing too, because some of them is hard headed. You mean to tell me Al Heyman showed Danny Garcia real estate, how to build his businesses? He showed J Rock real estate. He showed Paul Williams. All of them praise
Earl,
Al. He
EJ
showed
too.
all of them. He showed all these guys. And when it comes to Broner, he ain't got nothing he can invest in. You don't
Bro,
think?
you
I
know
mean,
Broner was spoiled rotten, man.
Floyd
Stop.
Mayweather got investment, but my point is, you got guys like that's on them, bro. It's on them. When you there's not a
Absolutely.
lot of Al Heymans that's gonna sit there and give you the game and be like, "Hey, man, let me help you get more money. Let me show you this. Let me show you that." It's not a
Which
lot.
one of
Right.
them fighters? Wasn't
Rock
it one of
Not a
them
Nation
lot
that
of
named
also.
people.
they kids after Al Heyman? Who was this had a baby that
Mm-hmm.
named their son after
That was
Al
Leo
Think it
Heyman?
was
Santa
Leo.
Cruz.
Yeah, Leo Santa
Leo Santa
Cruz.
Cruz. But Benavidez still prays Al Heyman to this day. That's why Turkey mad at him now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy though? I think AB should have took that $30 million from Rock Nation, man.
I still think he'd have been in the same position. I still think he would,
On
because
Mark, $30
if
million, bro. Stop. You know how much money that is in Cincinnati, bro? We from Ohio, bro. You balling with that kind of money, man.
no, he's spending. It ain't about
Yeah.
balling. He's
And
spending
Broner don't
because
never
that's
be home. He what is he now running from LA for them damn funny dice he got going on?
yeah. And he's generous too. People don't understand. He'll walk. He'll
Mm-hmm.
give you 10 stacks in the club. Here, bro.
Facts.
He is that.
Facts.
I tell people he is that. He's too generous.
Very
And you got to
generous.
be. He look out for a lot of people, man. That's just who he is. But
He had a big heart for sure. You're right.
absolutely, absolutely. But he's not the only athlete that went through that. I just think we need more people educating us on how to use our money, man, and build more money, because you got a lot of people who want to help other people, but they just don't know how.
Hey Ken,
Right.
was
And
you
you.
around when they used to bring Tank to the Natty back in the day or no?
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
I remember they
That.
bought that. I remember they bought him. I
They
was like, who is
love
this kid?
Tank of Cincinnati, bro. They
Say
love
it
him.
again.
And one thing they love Tank of Cincinnati, bro. And one thing I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say with AB, like in
Mm-hmm.
Al, y'all remember Al was he was only giving AB certain amounts of money at a time.
Mm-hmm.
He was keeping his money together and stuff because they was AB got all them kids and that child support was hitting heavy. You know what I mean? So Al was helping him out for us his child support and trying to manage his money and everything.
But it's only so much you can do, man. It's only so much you
Absolutely.
can do. I think, and I wasn't surprised to see Broner turn on Al and trying to make it about, oh, he owe me money. I'm like, oh man. I said, here you go with this. Now you playing victim. Like he ain't been there for you. He owe you money. And I'm like, boy, stop. So, like
Right.
we gotta stop that. You know what I mean? Like, nah.
But
Yeah, I
you
thought
gotta
that was
remember, dude, he
nasty
was
work.
our age getting millions of dollars, man. Like, can you imagine being 23, $8 million, man? That's a lot of money, bro.
Bro,
But
he Cincinnati especially, bro. Like that man, he
Come
was
on, man.
in there balling crazy in all the clubs out here in Cincinnati, man.
Ain't
Like
that baby
going
used to drink
crazy.
Nubo and all that? Come on, man. You know he was killing them, man.
But that's what I tell people. That's why I say this all the time. You can't tell me Bronner wasted his talent. The boy became a 4 division champion. He became a world title, and he made millions. Maybe he didn't live up to the potential and expectations that some of us thought he could be, but he didn't waste his damn talent. He cashed that in, buddy.
Oh, he
He
did.
he cashed that in.
Absolutely.
So I would never look at him talking about he wasted his talent. And I think some people try to say he didn't live up to his potential. But they say he wastes his talent. And I don't think they be trying to say that off, because I don't want people to ever think Broner wasted his talent when he made more money than any Cincinnati boxer. Any Cincinnati boxer. He done made more money, was at the top, and he capitalized. He's in the history books for 4-division champion, bro. He's a 4-division champion regardless. So,
if I'm being honest, I'm one of those people. I get so sad when I talk about Adrian Broner, because I just know how big he could have been. But to BVO's point, he was young, getting a lot of money. He didn't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? And then when he took that loss, I think his first loss is what really kind of like started the downward trajectory for him.
But don't you think that's a balance? I always think sometimes God is saving you from a financial overdose, as I want to put it. Where if he keep getting more money and he win, where's Adrian Broner today? Is he in a good place? Is he in prison?
He's not in a good place now, though.
That's what I'm saying, though. So I think sometimes if you look at him, he still succeeds. He might not have the characteristics to be able to hold all that fame. Will he be in the P Diddy scandal? Will he be doing extra and extra? I'm being honest. The more money, because it's all about the characteristic. The money doesn't change you. You are already who you are. It just makes
it just enhances who you are.
All right.
And I can tell you right now with AB is a true Cincinnati motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
And the way he move, like way he talk, like he move like a true Cincinnati dude for sure. Like
West side, huh?
Through West side for sure. Like.
But I used to love going up there to his fights in the U.S. Bank Arena. I enjoyed myself going to Cincinnati. That's the part I missed about Broner being up, because I feel like everybody was eating. And Broner was a guy that always gave everybody opportunities. He the type that he almost fought a Michael Williams, 18-1, young dude on Black Prime, and he ended up getting an eye injury. But that was Broner giving him a bone. Like, people don't look at it that way. You know what I mean? But that's just how I look at it. Like, the dude always was trying to help people, but I don't want to make this a Broner.
You know what, man? You know what it boils down to, though, man? You got to get you a woman, bro. I don't care what nobody say. If you're gonna be successful, man, you got to get you a chick at the crib. Because when you don't have that, I ain't gonna lie, man. Niggas look crazy. You gotta have you a good woman, bro.
You're good. Yeah, that's. I mean,
even if they run that mouth, you gotta have you a good woman, man.
Let me ask y'all this: name y'all top 5 current most exciting fighters in boxing right now?
Most excited. Well, Abdullah gonna be on that list for sure.
Yeah, I got Abdullah. I got Keyshawn. I got Emiliano. Let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3. I have that I like now that Charlo's back. Can I put him on there, or was too soon?
I mean, you can. I didn't.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, go ahead.
Shakur. Devin.
I thought you said
exciting. Look, hey, Jack Queen about to say, wait a minute now. You said exciting. Like, stop playing.
You should have seen where I looked at my computer. Wait, I thought he said exciting.
No, I like Abdullah NUA. People can say what they want about
That's who I forgot. Yes.
They can say what they want about the more hate he get, the more I like. They was even trying to call that boy Chinny, and I had to educate some people. I said, okay, of course you might look like you Chinny, but ain't he going up in weight? Like, what are we talking about? Like, the dude fighting bigger guys, and you talking about, yeah, he Chinny, but he getting up and he's finishing them. The dude's showing that he's a dog.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
And he's daring to be great. You said that was great.
You said finishing them. Jesus Christ.
Nah, but he shows a lot of heart, man. At first, I did not respect him at first, because I felt like Top Rank was trying to force NUA down our throat, and I just said, let me just wait and watch him, because I don't just take what y'all say, with the media push. So, and I started to earn my respect, and plus he fought the Ohio fighters. So once you fought my boy Antonio Nieves, I'll never forget that fight, because when Nieves fought him out of Cleveland, shout out, Cleveland, but it was a shotgun versus a 22. Like, Nieves, that's my dog, and he's a good fighter. man, Nieves hitting him, it be like pat, 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 pat.
He got beat dead, man.
And
that
then
wasn't no
Inoue
fun.
was like, boom, boom, boom. He like pat, pat, pat. Inoue, boom, boom. I was like, oh my God. But I respect Inoue. That's another one. So I got Abdullah, Inoue. Who else I like? Who else did I? Oh, Terrence Crawford, definitely still exciting. Terrence Crawford is my guy. He didn't have the last performance wasn't too exciting, but TC always give good fights. TC is up there. Exciting. I'm trying to think of the other two. I can't really think of everybody else right now that comes to my mind. I like Charles Conwell too. Charles Conwell out of Cleveland is it's exciting. He's punishing. He's trying to get you out of there. So I like those type of fighters too. But that's it. That's I got to think of the last one, man. It's a couple. I know I might be missing some. Oh, another one. This is one under the radar. I like Elijah Pierce. Elijah Pierce. I like Elijah. He's definitely a good one that a lot of people sleep on. Elijah.
I would say mine would be Bam Rodriguez, Abdul Wahid, Emiliano Vargas, Abdullah Mason, and definitely what's that dude? Inoue. Yeah, that was my list because I'm telling you, man, I'll be getting on Abdul Wahid, but the brother can fight, man. He can fight. I mean, he be beating up cans, but he be beating brothers to death.
I am sick of him. Get him off this channel, bro.
Hey, when I seen Abdul Wahid made Frank Martin flinch like that and smashed him, I was like, this dude go.
Yeah, I say my top five.
He's
man,
exciting.
I say, of course, Tank. I say David Benavidez, Nawa Inoue. I love Bam Rodriguez as well, and Abdullah for sure.
You don't got Abdul Wahid on your list? I'm shocked.
I got Tank. Yeah, I got Tank on there.
Tank is exciting too.
Tank, David Benavidez, Nawa Inoue, Bam Rodriguez, and I said last. I said Abdullah Mason, man, for sure.
Hey, did he throw that Frank Martin fight, Ken?
Throw it?
I mean, what's the dude's name? Lamont Rose. Did he throw that fight or something?
Which fight? Tank?
Yeah, because I was wondering, he didn't look the same. Must be because he had that jail time hanging over his head.
Here you go.
What did he talking about?
Here you go.
No, he did. Look it up. He had jail time over his head.
He's disgusting. He is
We're not about to deal with this guy, man, today, man.
Cam, I know you're a Tank fan, man. I know you Tank, man.
I don't even be trying. I swear to God, I don't even be trying to talk about Tank half of the time more than these motherfuckers do. These motherfuckers bring him up half of the time. Like, they bring him up. I don't even like talking about him half of the time.
I feel you, man.
You sound a motherfucker.
I thought about.
Oh, wow. You talking about my mama now? This dude cool.
I thought about Tank with Loma, man. When Loma retired, and I did think about Tank. That's the only time it came to my head was like that. Loma is hanging them up. But you know what? Fighters need to, walk away from the sport like that when they feel like they've done everything they could, man. Walk away from the sport. I think your job is to get in, get as much money as you can, fight some legacy fights, and walk away in your right mind, man. I salute that 100%. So, salute to Loma. I definitely still would love to see a Tank Davis. I would have loved to see a Tank Davis fight, but I just hope that we can start pushing some of these fighters who are world champions to fight other guys, and some of us protecting them by saying they ain't ready. And it's like, nah, anybody with a belt, get them in there, man. That's just I think we need to push that for more. Put the pressure on them.
Now, what y'all think about the Bud fight, man? I see a lot of the Bud Crawford fans, man, talking out there like he gonna be able to stop Canelo in this fight, man. What y'all think about that?
Stop the madness is what I need them to stop.
I'll say this: when we interviewed Bunny the Boxer, man, he cussed me and CDK out about this, but I think that Canelo gonna beat the fried chicken and watermelon out of this dude. He's gonna beat him to death.
Now you tripping now. You talking about fried chicken and watermelon. Stop.
Oh, my bad. with key lime pie, my bad.
This man BBO is crazy.
Man, absolutely.
What Bernie the Boxer say when you said that?
when we interviewed him, he was
Yeah.
just like, "You got to be kidding! What y'all niggas talking about? You got to be kidding! Bud Crawford's gonna knock him out." Blah blah blah. But it was cool because I told Bernie that I get what you're saying, but I mean Canelo, you really don't see dudes go up 2 weight classes and still knocking niggas out. That's not normal. We only seen a few guys
And
ever
I
do
ain't
that
never
in
seen
boxing.
Canelo be knocked out, so there's that.
Yeah, I think if he did do something, I think we'll be questioning about snack or
If
PEDs,
he
whatever. I
knocks
think
Canelo
Well, you got to
out,
that would
what
be
is
remember,
on him.
resting?
what's name's little brother put hands and feet on Canelo, but Canelo ended up knocking him out. Miguel Cotto's little brother, remember he had Canelo head snapping back.
Man, he snapped his head and he was still good. That was the first shot. He's stepping up. I think he
Bro,
was at
it was Mexican pizzas
147.
everywhere.
Man,
Bruh.
It was burritos everywhere. He was
man,
You
beating the
see what I'm
burritos
talking
out of
about,
that
Cam? You
dude.
see this kind of foolishness you let on your panel?
hey, look, he hit his
And
first good shot.
you said, hey, Mark, you said they hate on me because I'm black, talking about foolishness. We popping, man. We trying to have some fun, man. We trying to have some fun. This is a show.
Hey, that
Trying to
was
have some
good.
fun.
Hey, he took a nice hit though. So does Earl Spence, but those guys are still durable, man. I look at their recovery rate too, but Canelo is definitely one thing that I think about Terrence Crawford and Canelo going into that fight, man. I'm gonna say this: it's gonna be hard for Crawford to try to hit him with one shot. You have to throw a accumulation of punches or put it together in order to seriously hurt Canelo and try to get him out of there. Canelo can counter, man. Canelo get his head off the line. He's not there with his head on the line. He moves, man. So
But you got to stand there and fight Canelo. That's my only problem. The only people I ever seen beat Canelo is people who stood in front of him and fought him. You got to fight that nigga. I don't see Bud doing that.
So I think Bud has a chance to try to do that, but I
Man,
think
Bud is not gonna stand his little raggedy butt in front of Canelo for no
that's the only
12
chance
rounds.
he gonna have because he gonna have to.
I mean, that's
He gonna
only
have
if
to,
he can't withstand that power from Canelo.
then he gonna get on his
And that's
bicycle.
the $1 million question.
Yes, because he gonna get on that bicycle. If he does that, I just think he got too much pride to be getting to do a Jamal Charlo. I think he goes out like James Kirkland. If that's the case,
Man, Jamel has some good moments, but when he found a Canelo could punch, he shelled up.
that's what I'm saying. Once you get, I said, but do you believe? Do y'all believe on the panel if Crawford gets hurt, do he become Jamel Charlo? Do you think that's gonna happen?
No.
If I'm being honest, no, and that's why I think that Bud will be the one getting knocked out because to your point, I think he does have too much pride to run, so it's gonna just get ugly in there. I mean, he gonna come to try and fight like Jermell did or Jamal, whichever one that was for Canelo. He's gonna come in there and trying to fight, but as soon as he realized that them punches are not hurting Canelo, what is he going to do?
Now, and that's Jab Queen. That's a very good question because I actually said when Broner fought Paul Malignaggi, I feel like that fight would look similar to that because what happened was Paulie was not known to be a puncher, right? So when he was fighting Broner, it was a shotgun versus a 22. Paulie was still boxing, hitting them, but they were hearing the loud shots from Broner. Broner, every time he hit Paulie, we knew it, but Paulie still was boxing. My question is, if Crawford comes up and he's boxing Canelo, let's say he's winning certain rounds, would he even get credit for it if Canelo was hitting it with the power shots we see it, but he's still boxing and hitting Canelo, but there's really no effective shots. You get what I'm saying? Like, will we give Canelo more credit
And they got
because
70
he's
fights.
hurting?
We've never seen that, man. Come on, Mark. That's not gonna happen. We've never seen that.
Seen what?
We've never seen nobody. We only seen 2 niggas stand in front of Canelo and they both beat him.
No, I'm talking about boxing where you moving around and really like a Laura.
Didn't they give Floyd a draw for? They gave dude. You can't do that. You can't box Canelo. You got to knock him out.
No, I get that. So that's
happening.
But this is why I said it's a bag too. At the end of the day, it's a bag because you fight somebody in 2 weight classes, you going up. When you was telling people there's weight classes for a reason. See, I'm a Crawford fan, but when he changed his mind, I only personally believe he changed his mind when he seen Jamel, who he wanted to fight at the weigh-in with Canelo. That's when he started to say, I think I can take Canelo now because I want to fight Jamel, but he's going up, and I'm looking at the size difference. He changed his mind based off that. When he was preaching, there's weight classes for a reason.
Well, he said Bill told him to fight Canelo.
Bill,
they super little though, man. I see
Haney.
Canelo. He looked small in real life, man. I'm tall though, so I could be wrong. But Canelo looked like a little. He looked like he a first grader in real life. He about 5'8". So I don't know. That's probably what Buzz see, that he not the biggest guy in the world.
I wouldn't be surprised if he eating some of that meat before he fight Crawford too. So Crawford,
Come on, bro. Come on. You
Come
still
on,
doing
man.
that?
That
You
whole
a
camp
hater,
is
bro.
riding dirt. That
Come
whole
on.
camp is riding
He
dirt.
had
Hey,
man, he had a bad
hey,
hamburger. You want to
Crawford
try to
got the
say he
snack
was
pack.
dirty?
You need more than a bad hamburger to touch dirty, Papa. I
You
don't
get
know
what
what
I'm
the hell you
saying?
thinking about.
Hey, it
I'm
may
telling
be
you,
an even
Mohan, it was a
playing
bad
field. You know,
burger.
Crawford got the snack
Sure
pack.
it was.
You said Crawford got the snack pack, Cam?
Nah, Eddie Reynoso got that snack pack.
Wow,
Don't leave.
They may
Don't leave.
be
y'all
in
hating on the
two
best trainer
even
in
playing
boxing.
fields.
Let me ask
Please.
BBO a question. BBO,
Dope man. Yeah, that's me. That's
if
Eddie Reynoso.
if Crawford win, are you going to give him full credit, or are you going to be over here with the conspiracy theory talking about he could be cheating? Like, are you going to give him a legitimate, props? You going to give
I'm
him the
gonna give him
props?
props, man. I seen Terrence Crawford beat one of my favorite fighters to death. He beat the curls off Errol Spence, and I had to
Oh,
give
you
him
was
his
a
props, man.
I am sick to death of him.
I mean, he just beat the
Bruh,
curls off my
oh,
dude,
you was another one of them
bruh.
Ohioans who liked Earl, huh?
man. Because remember Earl had curly hair. After the fight, he had like a perm. I mean,
Man,
dude beat
shut
the curls out his
nah,
head,
bro.
bro.
You're not about to do my guy like that.
Oh, Cam, you was an Earl fan too?
Yeah, man. I fuck with Earl, man.
Man,
That's
Man,
my
you the only
guy, man.
non-Earl friend in
That's my
Ohio,
guy.
bro.
bro, that's what's up. No, Ohio, they rock with Earl heavy, bro. So that's what I said. Ohio definitely rock with Earl, man. Def heavy.
Because remember,
But no,
he did some amateur fighting up in Cleveland. He was in your town, Youngstown, a few times fighting too.
no, he
So,
ain't never been in Youngstown.
oh, you never was in Youngstown fighting in the amateurs?
Nah, we chased him out of there.
Damn.
No, I'm joking. No, we didn't. He didn't come in Youngstown and fight. I'm in Columbus right now, so I don't think he ever came. But he got love. Everybody embraced the Earl. So to me, I got nothing but respect and love for Earl. Always will, man. But yeah, Terrence Crawford was just.
You better stay retired though, man. He talking real slow now, bro.
But I actually exposed and said that I believe there was some personal health issues going on. I don't know if I said it on this panel, but I said that I believe there was more going on when they had Sebastian on weight and they kept postponing. And then all of a sudden they said, well, the WBO don't want to take this fight because of this, whatever. And I said, nah, if that was the case, Earl would have still fought after he realized he wasn't fighting Fedora. He would have had some other type of fight. Now all of a sudden you go from, well, I fight when I'm ready, and I fight. I'm like, nah, brother. Something really
Man,
else is
Earl
going.
messed up, dog. You can see
Yeah,
it.
something
Look
else.
at it. You see how he wears his dreads, man? He
Yeah,
messed up. Messed
I
up,
never
bro.
met
Man,
the video
stop,
though.
man.
he could be, man. But I
He
definitely,
wears dreads crazy now. He's done,
I'm
man.
gonna tell you this though. If he does come back, you know how emotional the fans and the build up for that be when he's in the ring, and they, you
He'll
know,
still sell out
oh
any
my
arena because he's
god,
still a
oh
star.
my god,
We was hyped to see him come out and take a picture with Fedora. He had the Winnie the Pooh jacket on like grandma.
that was
This
My
fucking
dude,
guy.
Bruh.
my dude grabbed his grandma's Winnie the Pooh jacket, came out. All the fans was going crazy. I was going crazy.
I know that a lot of people got mad at me because I took that picture. I took a screenshot of him with the card. Talking about, I'm fighting him. I got the card, and I actually titled it. He got his duck card from Terrence Crawford. He ducked the rematch to fight some Fedora, man. And
I
people,
would have ducked Terrence from the gate, man. Some dudes you just leave alone, man.
no, I respect. He gave us the fight we wanted, man. I ain't about to say
Oh no, that
that.
was stupid. That was stupid. That's why he talking even slower, because he gave us the wrong fight.
Who was you going? So you was going to promote? You was going to
I
put
would
for
have fought
Keith
Keith
Thurman?
Thurman. I would have fought Keith
Oh,
Thurman.
BVO, no, bro.
It's a
Nah,
business,
bruh.
dog. It's a business.
Nah, bruh, man. You gotta give respect to Earl. He gave us the fight we,
No. We seen Sugar Ray Leonard not fight Aaron
he
Pryor.
gave us
Why you
the
think he didn't
fight that
fight Aaron
everybody
Pryor?
wanted, man.
Why you
If
think
Earl would have
Sugar Ray
went
Leonard
away
ain't
to
fought
that
Aaron
fight
Pryor?
and not fought Bud, bro, you know how crazy the Bud Crawford fans would have went crazy on
Man, you know
Earl
how crazy the
forever
Tank
on that
fans go.
shit.
He didn't fight Abdullah. Why he didn't fight none of them dudes in his age group? You don't have to fight him. This new
Yeah,
age boxing, you don't have
that's
to.
not the case with them, bro. They was definitely that fight had to happen, man. And Earl
No.
made it happen. It is what it is,
Now you
man.
can barely. Well, I'm glad he made you happy, Cam. He can barely talk, man. Thank you.
Hey, Earl fine,
He
man.
should
He
he
be
should
all
thank he
right.
should thank you, man.
He'll be all right,
Talking like
man.
slow bucks now because of you. Thank you, man.
This is ridiculous.
Man, I like Earl, man. I wish him the best, man. I hope he does recover.
I like Earl too, man. I love what's left of him, but you know,
This fucking guy. This fucking guy.
It's all love was left of me. Man, I'm done with you, man. I can't, man. Earl's my guy. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he come back. Now, who else fighting out? We got a card down here in Columbus too. We got a small card, but I don't the undercard too. I hope the brothers perform well too. Keyshawn and his brothers. I'm rooting for them guys.
they them dudes is poop, man. They both doo-doo, man.
No, they gonna be
Man, a lot of people been talking about the Keyshawn brothers.
Keon is trash.
Man.
Yeah,
Keon is trash.
Kelvin is too.
Really? You don't like the brothers, BBO?
I mean, it shows.
They just not good.
How they put them on the card, and y'all can still get behind Abdullah Mason. I don't give a damn. Your brother was the main event. Sit down.
Well, if they gave Richard Torres a card, they should have been gave Abdullah Mason a card. Richard Torres is trash.
Well, you know they gonna come to Cleveland, so you better be there to support them, man.
Man, I'm gonna be there. Hey, I'm gonna be there, man. If they come to the field house, I'm gonna be in the house, man.
All right, I'm gonna push you to it because I'm there. I'm definitely gonna watch history.
I'm going to the fight September, and I'm gonna go to the fight in July, man. The 27th. Come to that fight.
You going to Canelo and Crawford? I ain't going. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be down there in Vegas. I am planning on going in Vegas, but I want to be like with Ness and the Boxing Voice where he have get together. So I meet a lot of great people there. So I'm gonna save money.
Yeah, I respect Ness, but I don't hang out with dudes that put their friends in prison, bro.
Dang, you sound like H Money.
Shots fired.
Man, he going personal, man.
Bro, if a dude bring you some keys, man, and you say, hey, that was him. Come on, dog. Stop. We from Ohio. Everybody in Ohio know about drugs, man.
How old was he? 21?
Cam, what they tell you? What they tell you when the police come get you? Shut up. Is that not what they tell us, Cam?
Hey, man.
Cam, what do they say? What they tell you when the cops come? They say, shut up, right?
Man, stop. I'm gonna be down there kicking it with Ness, man. I'm probably gonna
I don't condone what Ohio Runs Boxers saying, man, but salute to him. You want to hang out with dudes that put their friends in jail, by all means, man.
Well, hold on. You're rather you're gonna defend a guy with fishnets, but the guy who put his
oh my God.
Hold a minute, wait a minute.
So you whether somebody tell on you, put you in prison, then they wearing something on their personal body. They don't got nothing to do with you.
Man, leave Ness alone, man. That's my guy.
Man, shout out to H Money, man, or what's left of him. But shout out to what's left of H Money.
That's funny, but you know what? But you know what? If you're gonna pay for the Canelo, if you're going to go get the ticket, I paid $3,300. So I went to the Earl Spencer Crawford. I paid $3,300. Me and my girl that I was with at the time. We actually purchased that. Yeah, it's shoes. Well, yeah, 33. Yep, 3,300.
Hey, I put like this, man. We should do like a
that was
Ohio,
the most I ever spent.
Ohio Runs dating card for my man Marcus, man. This brother, man. Every time I see him, he got a new girl, man. What's up with this guy?
Nah, I ain't doing that.
This guy.
Wow.
I had Remy Ma. That was the last one I was with, but that's it, man. I ain't been on the move like that.
Well, they got a thing where you can run a girlfriend for a day. You should just do that next time.
Man,
what is happening?
This crazy.
All right, man,
let's talk about this card, man. This Keyshawn card, man, a little bit, man. All right, so Scooter Davis is on this card too. He's fighting this guy Naheem Parker in a 6-rounder fight. Keon Davis, of course, he's fighting this guy Michael Velez Garcia in a 6-round fight, and he's fighting at 147. So how the youngest brother fighting at the highest weight class? That's what I noticed. I noticed that.
You see what I'm saying? This is
like because Kelvin's fighting at 140, which I heard he was fighting at 147 at one point. Now he went back down to 140 to fight Nair Albright.
He ain't got no power. That's why he went back down.
Now you got Keyshawn, fighting at 140, but ain't fighting this card.
Yeah, Keyshawn, but see, Keyshawn's a 54-pounder. I think that what you're seeing now, these guys keep cutting weight to kind of be the big guy at the small weight class.
Man, he ain't.
Did I say that? Did I say that? A big fish in a little pond.
Why can't we get these guys fighting at their natural weight, man?
Because they ain't like that.
And that's why we don't have as many middleweights, Marcus. Because if you think about it, a lot of guys should be at 54-60, but they killed themselves. Like I seen Devin. There's no way that dude should have ever been in a 135 ever. But he was. But
Ever.
he really is a 168-pound fighter, man.
Yep, Yuri Sardino, he fighting this guy Abel Mina in the 10-round middleweight fight. That's gonna be a banger.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a real good one.
I think people sleeping on, and I think Cam seen this on my post. People are sleeping on the Janelson versus Tiger Johnson. That's gonna be Midwest.
Yeah.
That's Detroit, a tough fight for Tiger, man.
Versus
10 rounds too.
Yeah, Detroit versus Ohio. See,
hey, would they match up Tiger versus Kelvin?
Probably not.
At 47?
Yeah, 47.
I would say no because Tiger is considered a blue chipper. I don't think so.
Yeah, well, yeah, they definitely moving. They tough. They matching Tiger up tough. And the only thing I'm gonna actually make a post and talk about that too. I don't know why they haven't ranked him. How is he taking on tough opponents and then he's not ranked on the WBO, none of that? It's like, or all of a sudden
they're not spending no money. You know that.
Yeah, but don't be surprised because I'm already hearing some insights that if Brian Norman win the belt, they're gonna be lining Tiger up next year with a Brian Norman.
Yeah, I figured that. That'd be a good fight, but he gonna get beat dead. But that's a good fight.
Nah, you out your damn.
When is he supposed to be fighting?
Wow. I forgot BBO. He loved him some Brian Norman.
No, he loved rooting against his Cleveland guys for some odd
reason.
No.
Brian Norman's my favorite fighter.
We're gonna fix that.
There's a trend behind that.
I'm gonna have Tiger come on this show. Matter of fact, I'm doing that this week. We're gonna bring Tiger on BBO.
Hey, you know, I done seen Tiger, man. He cussed me out. I seen him and my China Love. I done seen both. This Cleveland, bro. We didn't run into each other all the time.
Yeah,
them dudes.
But you going against your guys though.
No, I'm waiting on Ishmael Mason.
Oh no, I forgot too, because y'all got a rich history back there in Cleveland. Y'all also got Jake Paul. He's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter out of Cleveland right now. Jake Paul is.
This is outrageous.
He's the best promoter in Cleveland, though. But I'm gonna ask you this, Jeff Queen. When he knock out Tank, you don't give him credit if he knock out Tank?
Who?
Jake Paul.
Man, get the hell out of here. Nobody in their right mind would sanction such a fucking catastrophe.
He big though. He is big.
That nigga is 50 pounds heavier than Tank. Who's sanctioning that fight?
No, ain't no.
I don't even. You know what's so funny about Tank that people don't realize? He really is an anomaly. He's like 5'3", fighting at 135. He really a 30-pounder. That dude's special. He just don't fight nobody, but he's special on some stuff.
But see, here's my thing with Tank. Yeah, we could say he don't fight. So I think he got a decent resume. So I'm not one of those people that say he has a weak resume. I think he has a decent resume. I just think he's exciting, man. It's like he's the baby Tyson of this generation, man. He really is. Like he brings a lot of people who don't watch.
Super exciting. That's a fact. He's super exciting.
Absolutely, man.
I think that's where a lot of people get so pissed because you look at his feet. You know, one of my favorite fights with Tank was when he fought Mario Barrios.
Mm-hmm.
And when I seen the way he can move those feet, I said he can fight at 47. If he can move like that, he can fight at 47. And if you think about it, that was the one time we thought a guy was too big for Tank. And I feel like Tank is one of them guys where if you give him a bigger challenge, he'll show you everything that he got.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting these flat-footed Mexicans from the lawn service ain't doing it, man.
Here we go.
It is what it is because they all did it. Devin fought a bunch of dudes from the lawn
Norman
service.
Jr. fighting Jen Sasaki in Japan.
When is that's in like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
20 something?
Yeah.
They already in Japan.
Yeah, they're in Japan now.
Yeah, they're in there already.
Yeah. I'm rooting for. I like Normans though. I do that.
I was messing with my man Brian. No, I said, "Who cut your hair, man? I ain't like that fade, bro."
Yeah, his haircut is ass.
That was a nasty fade, my man. B Norman said, "Yeah, bro."
Yeah, Brian. Brian text me when I was at a fight in Toledo, and my phone was going off. It was beeping, and one of the females like, "Hey, Brian Norman, singer, is hitting your phone?" And I'm like, "Oh snap!" I look, it's a text message. He said, "Man, I'm losing money on your boy Thomas Matias, man. What's going on with your Ohio boy?" He said, "Ford cooking them right now." I was like, "Oh Lord, I couldn't."
What's y'all think? Y'all think Brian Norman can be the new Errol Spence? What do you guys think?
No, stop.
Mm-mm.
I'm talking as far as being liked.
No, he gotta. My thing is he gotta. First of all, he gotta wear some chains. He gotta come up with some rappers. He don't have that.
This is too much.
He don't have no marketability. Like he don't have the look. He don't have the look. He don't have the gift of gab on interviews like that? Like
the Arrow had a gift of gab.
Nah, that's kind of why I disagree with you, Cam, because he actually did an interview by himself with Mill City. I watched. That kid is actually pretty funny. The problem is he doesn't do enough interviews by himself. If his daddy and Bill Haney would go sit down somewhere, their sons might actually garner some some fans. Because I think that kid is pretty funny. I was listening to him. I was like, oh, I felt myself giggling a couple times. I was like, oh, this nigga kind of funny. He has a decent personality, but in comes Papa Bear. You know what I'm saying? They need to learn how to just fall back and let their kids, you know what I'm saying? They're the boxers. We want to hear from them.
Similar to Bill. Yeah.
I'll tell you this though.
He's not as bad as Bill, I don't think, but he's bad.
A lot of content creators, they be like really like going crazy for certain fighters. At the end of the day, man, these dudes is grown, man. You gotta let them talk for themselves, man. Like
The
I was listening
gotta let them talk for themselves.
Like I know Devin. I know Devin don't do enough talking, man. Like it's like you would think Devin is a merman.
Devin has a speech impediment, don't he? Every time he opens his mouth, he's stuttering or something.
Well, he's trying to talk like Floyd. You ain't noticed that? Him and AB trying to talk like Floyd.
What's going on with that? That's not cute.
Remember Floyd used to stutter?
Well, I know my son is gonna fight Tevin Farmer because that's what
and he'll put hands on you though, Ohio. That's what he told. That's what he told Greg Hackett. He'll put hands on you.
Yeah, he asked. He wanted me to come down there where they were at to get a pedicure, but I was cool. I told him, "Nah,
you sick, bro. Get a pedicure." And we interviewed him, man. That was probably one of the worst interviews I ever had, man. He didn't answer no questions.
Oh, he didn't.
Nope.
Dang.
Nope. I don't know if he'll be back on the show. Me and him had like a cussing match because I picked Tevin Farmer to win. So I don't know if I'll see him back on the show, unfortunately.
But you know what's so crazy? I like that fight with Schofield. I was calling for that fight from Abdullah. I said Abdullah, not Tevin, in Cleveland. But I think they got
don't have Abdullah fight Tevin. No,
I think it was, man. I liked the fight. I think it's still a threat. I think he's a vet, and that was something I would have liked for because.
So who's gonna tell him?
Huh?
Who gonna tell him?
Tell who? Tell what?
Who gonna tell Tevin Farmer he's the gatekeeper now? Who gonna tell him?
Ooh, oh, he knows that. He knows that.
Yeah,
he knows that.
But he's still a threat.
He a really good gatekeeper, though. I'll tell you that he a real good gatekeeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. He's a high
for real.
He gonna beat Kid. I thought he beat Ray Maritala. To me, I thought he beat Ray. He beat the churros off that nigga, man. I don't know what they were talking about.
He said the churros.
He did. It was taco sauce all over the ring. They talking about he won.
Come on.
Get out of here, man.
Crazy.
You're gonna have people in court with lawsuits.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you, trying to get my brother. Yo, you have to shut down the Carter. Yo,
if I do it on my channel, we could do it here, man. And plus, at the end of the day, you think they don't call us niggas, man? Stop.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, you see the Golden Boy emails.
Oh my God! You remember back in the day they had this thing, no black fighters. Like, man, what the hell you talking about?
Well, he's sticking true to that to this day. What he got? One.
Who?
Golden Boy.
Yeah, he ain't.
Oh, they got some African niggas, man. I don't think that counts.
What I mean.
That Golden Boy got this. They got this heavyweight Josh Edwards right now, man. A prospect that they trying to push, man. He all right.
He got some hands. He got some hands, bro.
Well, see, who's pushing him? Is it Bernard or is it going to be Oscar? Because it's, I mean,
it seems like they working.
It's more so been Oscar so far.
You know what I've been hearing though about. I heard Bernard. If you ask for a fight, Bernard then got in trouble because he make those fights that those guys say they want.
That's what you're supposed to do, though.
Like the whole Schofield fight, the Tevin Farmer Schofield. They said Bernard made that fight.
Yes, he should if you ask him for it.
That makes sense because he's from Philly. He got connections out there. Yeah, I can see him pulling the ball for Tevin. You know,
he spent his own money to get his career back. He had put on like 2 or 3 fights at that 2,300 in Philly, and slowly worked his way back to the big stage, man. Back to getting millions, man.
Who, Bernard?
No, Tevin Farmer.
Oh, yeah, no, I like Tevin has always been cool, man.
He got to get his eyes fixed, though, bro. Whenever I see him, I don't know who he's looking at.
Yeah.
Can you get him off this panel?
His eyes be all over the place. You be like, you scared me.
Said he
Stop
looking in
it.
different directions.
Well,
This is
you can't.
Hey,
ridiculous.
Kim, I
Well,
can't trust the man with his eyes all over his head. Like, he like one of them
This is
googly things. You know, you
hey
shake
man,
the
you gotta
eyes on them
put
little toys back in the day.
BVO. You gotta put some respect on the former IBF
You
champion.
should.
Oh my goodness.
That brother funny, man. TF
No, that's my guy though.
eyes.
Tevin is my guy, man. I think he's slick. He started off career with 5 losses too. That's why I
Yeah.
love his story, because he had 5 losses and he was able to still bounce back and get in a position where he won a world title. Man, I love that. He took tough fights early in his career and he got back in it. But it's gonna definitely be tough. I think his fight with Schofield, I've been saying it. I think it might be a Sean Porter, Paul Malignaggi type of thing where he just
Bullying.
bully him, and
I ain't
just
gonna lie, man. If Sean Porter would have put hands on me the way he did Paulie, I would have popped him in the parking lot, bro. You don't
man.
do that.
Paulie
He
starts.
said he would have bothered him in the
Hey,
parking lot.
bro, he said Paulie
This
said that
is
man was on
ridiculous.
steroids. He said Sean was juicing, bro.
What?
Y'all remember
Yeah.
you remember how Sean did Berto and he did Paulie nasty.
Well, he did Berto nasty like John Claude Van Damme with them headbutts. So that
That's
was
why
just
Earl was talking about how he was gonna hurt Sean Porter. Man, I was like, dang. I was
man.
hoping Sean Porter could win, but that was a
Well,
good fight.
Sean. Some
You
people
was
still
rooting.
felt Sean was up on that
I was
fight.
rooting for Sean. I actually was rooting for Sean Porter to win that fight, but
I'm about to say you should.
What?
I mean, from
yeah, I was rooting for
Cleveland.
Sean Porter, man. But
He don't never root for Ohio fighters. I'm starting to notice BBO be
oh,
just
hold on, that ain't
It's a
true, man.
trend. It's a trend.
dang, bro.
Man, as soon as we get some more Spanish guys, I'll be rooting for more of us, man. As soon as we get some more.
You spoiled. Y'all got Jake Paul, and it ain't even enough for you, man.
Man, we
God.
got to get some more like rice and beans places and stuff, like some more bodegas or something in Cleveland, because we ain't got no Spanish. Them Spanish dudes, all they want to do is play soccer, man.
A lot of
Facts,
people.
facts. That's their sport, man.
Yeah, and it ain't a lot going on down there in the Spanish boxing side right now. So, on the Puerto Rico, y'all had, Antonio Nieves was the last really
You know,
Puerto
it's funny.
Rican fighter.
Cleveland is like nothing but Puerto Ricans, man.
Y'all
But
got to
none of
yeah,
them box.
Antonio Nieves just retired, man. I was one of the last ones who lost an NUA.
I remember when I used to get in my building, go to my building, man. You could smell them Puerto Rican niggas when you get off the elevator, bro. It used to be crazy. You could smell the adobo and the tomato sauce, all that stuff coming off
It's
the elevator.
crazy, man.
Oh,
Hey,
this
so
is outrageous.
what y'all think about? So you got Fabio Worley. He fights Justice Huni this weekend, man. That's happening in the morning, actually. What y'all think about that fight right there?
That's gonna be interesting.
Ain't he the one? Ain't he the What did he do? Dent somebody's face up? Ain't that name sound so much? Didn't he put a dent in somebody's face or something? Worley?
I'm sure.
He punches him. I thought that's the guy that who was he fighting? He dented somebody's face up. But anyway, he's going against the Huni, right? How do you pronounce that?
Huni.
Huni,
Yeah,
yeah.
Huni.
And
Yeah, Huni is he's a Eddie Hearn guy.
yeah, okay.
And
Oh well.
and Fabio, he's basically stepping in for Big Baby Miller because he backed out of the fight. He was originally supposed to fight Fabio Worley.
What is
Didn't he
going on with
say?
Big Baby, man?
Didn't he say he wanted to fight the winner of Usyk and Dubois?
Yeah, he just came out and said that recently. I'm like, dog, nobody don't want to hear you talking after you
Okay, so
not
I got him
fighting
right.
Fabio Worley. like nobody don't want to hear none of that, Big
That's a
Baby
tough
Miller,
fight,
bro.
though.
He just got a KO in round 1, didn't he? In a rematch or something like that?
I don't hold him for losing to that big black dude. I don't hold that against him too bad,
Why
man.
are you describing him like that? This is ridiculous.
Oh, what's his name?
Big Baby Miller, he his last fight was against Andy Ruiz.
Bacoli. Bacoli, that's his name, right? Big black George Foreman dude. He
Oh my
was,
God.
man, he was punching the life out of Big Baby. It was crazy. I thought his head was gonna come off, bro, when he hit him with that one uppercut. I was like, dang.
Yeah, Fabio Worley. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I mean, good
What's
little
something about
heavyweight fight.
Moses?
I like Moses, man. He's number one in the WBO. I mean, and I wouldn't like the thing is with Frank Warren. Warren, he been talking like he trying to trying to slow track him a little bit after him getting that #1 ranking a little bit, man. I ain't really feeling that.
He's trying to savor the flavor. Give him a minute.
I'll make some money, man.
He got to. I want to see Moses fight one of the contenders at least. Not a champion. He ain't got to be a champion right now, but I want to at least see him fight one of the contenders. I mean, see him step up a little bit.
We're gonna see. But his fight is he's on Saturday, right?
Yeah, this Saturday morning. Well, it'll be like it'll be in the afternoon.
No, I'm about to say I think
like
that fight is at 2:00. I think the Nicotine and the Nashidi, I think they in the morning on Sunday at like 4:30.
Yeah, right early in the morning, along with Joe Apatow too.
Yeah.
He's fighting this weekend too, man. So we got some fights, and then of course, man, I'm sorry at Keyshawn, man. I'm real sorry at Keyshawn for real.
Yeah, I mean, I am too, honestly, because I just knew I was going to see.
I
This
feel like
to me
he
would have
fucked the
been a nice
weekend
step
up with
up.
that shit. He fucked the weekend up with that shit for real. Because I was really looking forward to seeing him fight. You know what I mean? Like, he really fucked the weekend up. With this unprofessional bullshit he done pulled, man. Like, it's real unprofessional. And it just showed me, like, it was all smoke and mirrors yesterday when you was trying to press down on Abdullah. And Abdullah, he stood his ground the whole time.
Well, I told you I didn't really like his initial reaction, but why would you do all of that knowing that you're not going to make weight? Like, to me, you been knew you wasn't making weight. You told my son you've been up all morning. So when the hell did you try starting to make weight? Because you're an active fighter, Keyshawn. It ain't like you coming off the couch. How the nigga coming off the couch made weight, but you didn't? That makes no sense to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Nakatani, he got a nice little fight, man. I think he should definitely do his thing this week, and then along with Joe Apatow as well.
Now, if he wins Nakatani, and don't he get to fight anyway, or don't he want to fight anyway or something? Ain't that the one?
I think it's a situation where they're like waiting like for anyway to beat MJ, and then they gonna try to line that up.
Okay.
So that's what it sounded. It sounded like they're definitely building up for that fight though, for sure. Like Top Rank specifically, they're building up for that fight. They know they're gonna make some crazy bread in Japan when they had them two line it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like when he had to take his underwear off, didn't he have to take his underwear off to get back on the scale again? Because the first time he blew weight, it was like 140 something the first time he got on the scale.
Who you talking about?
Keyshawn.
Oh, Keyshawn, yeah, man. Marcus, he hit me up earlier. He told me like, I got word. He ain't. Keyshawn ain't made weight in the morning weigh-in. I'm like, oh wow. So I'm like, this ceremonial weigh-in gonna be real interesting.
That wasn't even a ceremonial though. That was the actual weight.
It was the actual morning weigh-in. Like, and I'm just getting off work earlier at the time when he called me. I'm like, oh wow, this is crazy. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to watch the ceremonial weigh-in now because I want to see if he gonna try to make the weight. And he didn't even attempt to make the weight.
Yeah, that was wild to me that he didn't even attempt. Like, I found that to be super corny of him.
He really thought Edwin was gonna take the fight.
Yeah, because he figured this nigga broke. You know what I'm saying? Let me just throw him a couple dollars. But like I said, the joke's on him because they paid him anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's why they sick. Like Keyshawn sick because you lose out on the payday, and now it's like, your stock ain't down, but
that
over
shit
the
was never that high, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was working his way up, but
right.
Now you just put a damper on it. You already had the little weed scandal. You know what I'm saying? You're not making yourself look any better. And like I said, I think that Keyshawn was getting extremely big-headed, and and so this happened. But I'm sure he's a little salty with Bob now because they've made sure De Los Santos got their money. But I don't know if Keyshawn is getting paid.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting paid for this camp. It's not, and then on top of that, with Keyshawn, it's like you pushing for that's why you was pushing for T.O. the whole time, the last couple of days. Like, oh yeah, I want to fight with T.O. I want to fight with T.O. But now, yeah, T.O. got that WBO title. You can't even move up and challenge for it, right away like that.
T.O. Aspen holding on to them belts like they his last goddamn dying breath, boy. He just refuses to fight anybody that could take them belts from him. It's like he's using it as a bargaining chip, but he don't want to put it on the line. Like, what kind of shit is that?
Yeah, BVO, what you thinking about Teofimo, man? BVO there?
I see his icon, but he must have lost service, or maybe he just stepped away from the phone. But yeah, I find it very interesting. Again, that he didn't make weights, because you've had this fight coming up for how long? You constantly training in the gym. Now I don't know if he was eating some extra Cheetos or Bomac big ass or what the hell was going on, but that's unacceptable in every way possible.
For real, that's why like it. Like, this your first title defense, so that's just the most shocking thing to me.
Yeah, like, yo, that's crazy.
Like, you at least wanted to get this one out of the way, look good at home, and then make your decision, move up, and like you would have made weight, fought Edwin, did your thing in this fight, then you could have moved up, and you could have easily challenged the WBO, and put your petition in for that WBO championship at 140. Like, that's the smarter move to do. That's the more logical move to make. And
exactly.
I'm surprised, like, he wasn't advised this. Like, I think this goes along with not even just a promotional company. It goes along with the team. Like, the team shouldn't even allow him to put himself in this position for real. Because it's a fucked up predicament to be in. Because now it's like, who you gonna fight next?
That's a good question.
Yeah, man. So we going to close it out on this one, sis, man. Go ahead and get your closing statement, sis.
I thought BBO may have come back, maybe, or something. No,
I don't know what happened to BBO.
He didn't pay his phone bill. I mean, I think we're in for some good action-packed summer, regardless of this little hiccup in the road. It seems like some of these guys are adamant about fighting. Some of them that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but again, this is boxing. Who knows? A lot of these guys, they're fighting multiple times a year, but I know. I'll say we're getting past the generation we spoke about earlier, where these guys, some of them are prima donnas and don't want to fight. But we got a good card coming this weekend still. Now we get to see Abdullah as the headliner. Do we have a card next weekend, or is it skip?
Yeah, I know Richardson, Hitchens,
and Cambosis, absolutely. And then we got the Tevin Farmer and Kid Austin fight on the Jake Paul card. We got
Wilder
coming up.
Wilder Friday, June 27th.
That's him. He's fighting in Tulsa, Oklahoma, ain't he? Where is he fighting?
Yeah, it's in Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas, on Black Prime.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch the playback. Yeah, nasty. Well, they gotta build him back up, though, right? They have to build him back.
This is a tune-up fight. It's a well-needed fight for him. A well-needed fight. Like, finally, he get a little tune-up, and then try to see what he can do with it. With a big money fight after that.
Yeah,
Then you got Kristen and Billy, then Selecki coming up. It's a lot of action. Cause Jack Catterall, he fighting soon. Then you got the all women's card coming up. Taylor Serrano 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
On July 11th on Netflix. I can't wait to see that card. I ain't gonna lie. I cannot wait to see that card. They go Thomas Hill. I'm gonna bring Thomas Hill back up. Yo, Thomas Hill, my brother. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm here, but I got noise right now. What's good with it?
Chilling, man. We was just about to close it out, man.
Hey, we'll close it out, man. All I gotta say is this, because I couldn't get it off earlier on,
Go
but
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Speak your piece.
if we talking T.O. is obligatory right now. T.O. been cutting up. He done cross paths with Bob, and Bob got his ass on the string. Like he ain't gonna let that Mickey Fricky fight and let that belt walk. He let that Shakur Davis belt walk off. So best believe either Emiliano or Keyshawn Davis will be fighting him for that title. Somehow, some way, they're gonna put it together to make them be in line for that belt, and they're gonna have that fight. And your boy either gonna have to fight that fight or drop the belt. I think also we found out today that while certain fighters get receive a whole amount of hate, there are other fighters doing that and far worse, and they're getting excuses made for them. They're getting felt sorry for, and they're getting passes. Like I say, energy needs to be the same for every single fighter that's out here, no matter what walk of life they come from, no matter what demographic they come from. Sorry about that noise. And last but not least, man, shout out to Abdullah Mason. My man gets to headline a card, so he get 2 for 1. Man, he get in line for the belt that is about to be vacated, and on top of that, he gets to headline his first event. So my man is moving up. They got big plans for him, hopefully, man. So I want to make mention also to the fact that remember how vehemently Bob was against Keyshawn fighting Valdez to unify that title. He likes his belts segregated, so therefore he can have multiple ways to make young, up and coming talent viable options for championships. Bob is very strategic in what he does, and Bob is very litigious in his ways. You are not about to pull a fast one on him. And that's what we seen today take place, man. Shout out to Keyshawn. Hopefully, they're moving up. They got big plans for him. I thought that was very unprofessional, like for him not to try to make that, given what we heard about him only being 2 pounds off, but yet coming to that weigh-in 4 pounds off. So that means he went over there and had him a good meal and everything, and was not ever an intent for him to make that weight. He said it very much with his own words by saying he was going out. Pump faked the call out on my man Abdullah Mason. Wonder what he was pump faking on all other types of affairs as well, man. We see that one entity be held to a standard and applied with all kind of false narratives, but we see others actually living it out, operating without impunity within it. And the sad commentary is that most of the people who have problems with said commentary happen to be from the same demographic as the person who runs it, man. Meanwhile, these people can Cadillac it all god dang day on the other side because they got the corporate complexion, man. And on that note, man, I'm gonna be out, man. I don't mean to take up the show. Shout out my guy,
You all good,
Duo.
brother.
Shout out my guy, CamJNetwork. Shout out the young queen, Ty Drakeford, aka Jab Queen Boxing. Hey, man, my name's Thomas Hill, and I just call it like I see it.
You already know, man. This was a good one, man. Everybody make sure y'all like and comment if y'all watch this on the playback for sure, man. And subscribe to CamJNetwork. Subscribe to Thomas Hill and McQueen over there at Casuals Corner. Subscribe to my sister, Jag Queen Boxing, one of the best women talking boxing on the airways on YouTube for sure. Subscribe to my dog BVO TV, man. STN over there, you feel me, as well. And most definitely follow my guy, man. Ohio Runs Boxing on
Yeah, what
Instagram.
happened to him?
I think his phone might have died. His phone, I'll
Yeah, he
text
gotta
him and
pay
see
his
what's up.
phone bill, man. We
His
can't be
phone might
worried
have
about all
died,
that.
probably. uh, uh, definitely make sure y'all definitely subscribe to him. He on YouTube, but he's more so on Instagram and Facebook. So follow him on there, and he's
Yeah,
on
I gotta
Twitter as
follow
well.
him.
Yeah, and man, make sure y'all already know, man, tap in with us, man. We gonna get ready to watch these fights tomorrow, man, and Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna be ready for them and turn up, man. Abdullah Mason, main event tomorrow night. Jeremiah Nakathila, man, out there in Norfolk, man. Nasty work for Keyshawn, man. And we are out of here.
Yeah.